Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our workshop, 3 ways to make challenging dementia behaviors easier. All right. If you haven't already, if you are just joining us, put your name and where you are streaming from in the chat. So we are going to get going. All right. I'm going to pull up my share screen. Okay. Okay. All right. Like I said, welcome, everybody. Okay. Like I said, put your name, where you're streaming from, and a challenging behavior you are seeing in the chat. Okay. All righty. So in case you don't know who I am, I'm Krista. I am a certified dementia practitioner, and my background is Geri Psych. I worked in the therapy department, and my job as an activity therapist was to naturally or without medication, de-escalate, prevent, calm, and engage thousands of dementia patients that have been hospitalized for challenging behaviors. If you're here tonight for I want to go home, for refusals, for accusations, all of them, put them in the chat. Let us know what you are here for. All right. So you are going to walk out of here feeling empowered and having stopped or gotten at least one win with one challenging behavior that you're facing. All right. All right, so our evening is going to be divided up into 3 sections with a Q&A at the end. So, since my style is very hands-on as well, especially in workshops, we're going to be doing demonstrations. We are going to be having 5 people, or maybe a little less than that. We're going to break out rooms, and we are going to have a chance to meet each other. Everyone always has a ton of fun here. And lastly, we're going to end with a big question and answer section. All right. So my promise to you and my guarantee is that you are going to get a win, but you can only get that win if you participate. And getting that win might mean meeting someone new. It might mean practicing some skills with me. It could mean winning a prize, because we're having prizes for our live folks, or getting an aha moment where a challenge you felt that was insurmountable before is now doable. But here's the thing, I can't guarantee that if you don't participate. So if you are committed to participating tonight, put I'm in, yes, or whatever you want in the chat. If you've been part of the challenge, you are very, very used to this, but it's just to keep us accountable. It's so that we can cheer you on. It's so that we can get support. Also, you are going to want to stay till the end, because I am going to be giving out the mother load of bonuses and cheat sheets that you are going to be able to use daily as a thank you for coming here. All right. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but 3 ways to participate are being a comment warrior, by being a contributor of the Challenge Facebook group, by volunteering for demonstrations, and all that good stuff. All right. So what we are going to be learning is, in the first part of our workshop, we are going to be going over preventing challenging behaviors from happening. There are likely some beliefs and actions that you're doing right now that, unbeknownst to you, are making caregiving way harder than it has to be. And it's leaving us emotionally drained and exhausted. So we don't want to do that. In section 2, we are going to be talking about calming or redirecting. We're going to learn 2 communication skills and activities that we can use to calm and redirect our folks when they're really upset. So the difficult moments don't last for hours, and we can restore peace a heck of a lot faster. All right, let me check in on the chat really quick. All right, I see Sally's in, Sherry's in, Donald's in. Donald, you made it. Great job. Bill's in. Awesome. Perfect. I see some great participation. I'm very impressed. All right. And lastly, in section 3, we are going to be talking about our priorities as caregivers. We're going to learn why managing challenging behaviors feels so overwhelming for most caregivers and what to do instead. So real quick, we are going to go over 2 things. And number 4, we are going to do a Q&A at the end. So if you have questions that I didn't get to last night, especially if you're part of the challenge, that's where we're going to be answering them. So real quick, I'll stop the share real quick. If you have been participating in the challenge, I want you to raise your digital hand to share a result that you have gotten in the challenge. Because don't worry, challenge people, I am going to be sharing things that we haven't heard before. I honestly haven't shared it anywhere on social media for the most part, but I'm also going to be talking about some things that we have been going on through the challenge, getting some extra practice. So we're going to be seeing what we've learned in the challenge in a different way. So I'm going to have Jamie maybe pick 1 or 2 people to share the results, mostly so those of us who are just joining us for the very first time tonight get an opportunity to know what's possible for them. All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to go off first come, first serve and try to do this fairly, but it does help to have your camera on. Just a little heads up about that. Not necessary, but the first person I saw with that was Cheryl. So Cheryl, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and unmute.
Jamie, you're muted.
Can you hear me? Oh, bye.
There you go.
Is it working now?
Yep.
Okay. So Cheryl, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and unmute.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. All right, can you guys hear Jamie? Tell us in the chat if you can hear Jamie. Jamie, say some stuff. All right, they can hear
Hello.
you. They can hear you.
Okay, so everyone can hear me. All right. It's a little weird. All right, so Cheryl, I've asked you to unmute. You have to accept the prompt to unmute. There you go.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Sorry, I was putting groceries away, multitasking.
So, Krista, go ahead.
Yeah. So Cheryl, what would you say is the best result you got from the challenge this week, so that we know what's possible?
Just reinforcing a lot of things that I've already learned. The waiting and allowing processing time, and realizing that I really need to get my brother on board to admit that my mom has a problem.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing. All right. All right. Jamie, I'm going to have you pick 1 more.
Okay, I'm going to go with Marla. I'm going to prompt you to unmute.
Hi.
We can hear you, Marla.
Okay, I'm sorry. My fellow is sitting right next to me, so I'd rather not verbalize at this point if I can. I asked him to go in the other room, but he didn't. So
that's totally fine. We'll go to somebody else, Marla.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, Francis, I'm going to prompt you to unmute. And Marla, you can always put that in the chat too if you want us to look for that.
All right, Francis, go ahead and unmute yourself.
One of the main things that I learned was asking my loved one with dementia to assist me with chores, also the waiting, and just learning a lot about my body language, and I learned so much from all of this. So it's been very beneficial.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so we are going to get back going again. let me see. I gotta pull up my screen again. All right. All right. Actually, before I do that, I want to share a quick story to share what's possible. Oh my goodness. All right. So last workshop, when we did this back in January for the very first time, we had a gal named Terry who gave, I want to say, like one of the most heartwarming stories ever. So she said that when she joined us for the challenge and then the workshop, she felt ashamed because anything her mom would do, she said would irk her, would just be so annoying to her. And it brought her a lot of guilt because what she said was her mom progressed so quickly that it just took her breath away. And she felt like she had already lost her mom. And what the workshop and what the challenge was able to do for her is that she was able to learn to listen. She was able to learn how to slow down. She was able to take action instead of constantly learning, and not actually taking action. And she learned that she didn't have to do everything on her own. And afterwards, in her words, after she was able to slow down, listen to her mom, and her mom was able to tell her, I have dementia real bad, don't I? And she said, yes, you do, but we're here for you and we're going to keep you safe. And they had this really, really big emotional hug. Like she was crying too, you guys. And she said, I have my mom back. So ultimately, what I want for everybody in this workshop is to get the tools and to get the practice that you need to reconnect with the whole reason why you became a caregiver in the first place. There's a reason why we're doing this. There's a reason why we're killing ourselves to do this. And I want us to be able to reconnect through that and not have to be blocked from our person from challenging behaviors. All right. So with all of that being said, we will go back to our slides. All right. Okay. Oh, it's prize time. It's prize time. Okay. Let me see. Jamie, aka Vanna White. I want you to look at the chat and pick a lucky winner of a Starbucks gift card. We're going to treat you to some coffee because you deserve it.
All right, I'm going to go very random here. All right, landed on Diane Hughes.
Woo! Diane Hughes. All right, you want a Starbucks gift card. We are going to get in touch with you probably tomorrow to get you that. All right. Yay! Diane says thank you. All right. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, for real this time, we're starting with section 1. Okay. So our first way is preventing challenging dementia behaviors. So I have a question for all of us. Do you think it's possible to prevent challenging dementia behaviors? Tell us in the chat, yes, I do, or no, you don't. All right. Ooh, I see the chat filling up. Awesome, you guys. All right. Okay. So the 2 main strategies that most caregivers will use are 1, keep their person entertained, and 2, distract their person. Oh, I did not finish my sentence here. Distract their person with activities, I think is what I meant to put there. All right, so I need a volunteer. And before Jamie picks our volunteer, we are going to be doing a little role play. Oh, I see Juanita raised her hand first. Okay, so here is the situation. So you are going to play the role of the person with dementia. So in reality, you're 90 years old, but in your personal reality, as someone with dementia, you believe that you are actually 35 years old and you think your kids are home alone. That is your absolute reality right now. All right, so I'm going to pin Juanita here. Juanita, I am going to be your daughter who is using just distractions and things of that nature to try to get you to stop asking to go home. Tell me in the chat if I want to go home is something that you've heard from your loved one. All right.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So just to set the scene for you, Juanita, you are banging on the back door trying to get out, and I am reacting to you. So you are, like I said, you say whatever you want with the knowledge that I'm not letting you out and your kids are home alone by themselves.
I have to get home. I have to get home.
Mom, what are you doing?
The kids are alone.
Mom, I am your kid. There are no kids. Mom, I have coloring over here. Just go over here.
I don't like to color.
Well, Mom, that's what we have. So just go over there and color. I don't have time for this.
I have to get the children. They're alone.
Okay, Mom, there's no kids. There's no kids.
I saw them. And I know they're there.
Mom. Okay, scene. You did a great job. Okay, so let me ask you this. How did you feel about me, given your perspective?
I felt like you didn't believe me.
Yeah, like I'm a little mean and controlling.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what my husband says.
So would you trust me to try to take off your shirt and help you later on today after this?
No.
All right. Well, the reason why this doesn't work as well is that, for one, I did not address your concern. I used logic, evidence, and reason, which, especially if you're part of the challenge, we know does not work. And I tried to distract you without listening to your concern. So we're going to try this one more time, and this time I'm going to listen to your concern. So we'll restart it again where you're trying to get home.
Let me out. I have to get to my children.
Hey, Mom, what are you doing?
My children are alone and I have to get to them.
Oh, okay. Your kids are alone and you got to get back to them?
Yes, they are.
Oh, you know what? Your husband called like not too long ago and he said they're with a babysitter. You came over to help me with some gardening. Mom, you've always had the greatest green thumb, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I would love your help out here. So why don't we go outside and garden, and after dinner we'll work on leaving, okay?
Okay, as long as the kids are safe.
Kids are good. Perfect. Great job. All right, let's give a hand for Juanita. Yay! All right. Perfect. Great job. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, actually, before I have you go, hold on. So
Okay.
how did you feel about me this time?
You were helping me.
Yeah, I was listening to you, all that good stuff.
You assured me that the children were okay.
Yeah, and that was what your concern was. And it made it infinitely easier to convince you to go do something else. And chances are within like 30 minutes, you probably would forget all about the kids.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's probably the number one mistake that most folks make, is they try to go straight for redirection and they don't address the concern. So that addressing that concern is important. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's real to you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to get back to my slides. Okay. Go to the next one. All right. We shared what didn't work. Okay. So what worked about this last one is I was curious about what Juanita was looking for at home, thus making her feel listened to I didn't try to explain things logically. I gave an excuse that would make sense in her reality. And after her concern was addressed, I gave her something purposeful to do, which is very key because a lot of folks will, within 5 minutes, become disinterested in something. So you got to give it a purpose. And if you can couple that with a compliment, that's even better. All right. All right. So most caregivers think that because their person has memory loss, they can't prevent challenging behaviors. So they think the best they can do is keep them entertained or busy. But friends, the truth is, if you are being intentional about building feelings of trust, security, autonomy, connection through what you say and the experience you have with them, that is the #1 way you can prevent challenging dementia behaviors and make it easier to deal with when they do come up. And tell me in the chat if you have ever heard of Brene Brown. She is amazing. She is a researcher. So, an emotions researcher. She said, "We believe that we are thinking beings that occasionally feel, but really we are feeling beings that occasionally think." And that is especially true for our folks with dementia. Your relationship with them and how they feel around you drives how they will react and respond to you. So just to recap, the #1 way that we can prevent challenging behaviors is by building feelings of trust, safety, purpose, and connection through what we say to them and the activities we do with them. When our folks with dementia want to be around us, trust us, feel safe with us, they are much less likely to go for the challenging behaviors to communicate their needs with us. So the real question is, how do you build trust and safety and connection with someone with dementia? Well, friends, that leads us to our first bonus of the evening. I call these connection phrases, and you are getting a connection phrase cheat sheet. So connection building phrases are short, simple phrases that either engages our folks into a meaningful activity or meets their emotional needs. So again, if you're part of the challenge, you saw a little bit of some basic emotional needs that our folks have. They need to feel like they have purpose or that they're needed, that they're appreciated, that they're listened to or have autonomy, that they feel safe, and that they have some fun and connection to us. So these are some examples of some connection phrases and some of the different categories. So could you help me? Could you show me? Does this look good? Could I get your opinion? Will you do this with me? All that good stuff. So don't worry, you're going to get all of that. Jamie is going to give you a link at the very end to get those cheat sheets. And there's going to be more than one, but you're going to get this one at the end. All right. So here are some examples of some connection phrases that we had from the challenge. So Kathy said, "Had an amazing day, no emotional issues. We were out visiting today. I did ask my loved one if she would pull the covers up on the bed this morning, but she did an awesome job." Teresa then said, "When husband is having delusions, I held his hand and told him he was safe and asked how he wanted me to help him." I'm going to stop my share real quick. And I'm going to have maybe 1 or 2 more folks from the challenge share a connection phrase that they used. So raise your digital hand if you're part of the challenge and if you used a connection phrase, like, "Can you help me?" All that good stuff. Okay, Jamie, I'll have you pick.
Okay, well, Sherry was super quick, so I'm gonna ask Sherry to unmute.
All right, Sherry, go ahead.
Sherry, we can't hear you if you're trying to talk. Give it a second, then I'm gonna prompt someone else. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and prompt Marla to unmute.
All right. Hi, Marla.
Hi.
Okay. So what connection phrase did you use?
Hmm. He gets frustrated when I try to help and I remind him I'm trying to do it for his benefit. It doesn't always help, but sometimes it does. Or
Okay.
could you help me with this when he's having problems?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that is probably like the number one connection phrase, because we all want to feel helpful. And especially when you're feeling a little bit insecure about your abilities, having someone ask you for help is very, very validating. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay. All right,
One
Jamie,
more?
we'll pick one more.
Okay, I'm gonna prompt Sophie to unmute.
Oh my goodness. Hi.
Hi, Sophie.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good, good.
All
Thank you for
right,
coming.
wonderful. Oh, thank you. We appreciate you.
All right. So what connection phrase did you use?
I always say that I actually need help in the kitchen.
Mm.
So it becomes a routine around the same time. Every morning, I go through the kitchen, decide what I'm making for dinner, and that's when I ask for the help. So he ends up being around me in the kitchen, helping me for about an hour. And I feel better that I had him participate with me like that. And he feels better. So the rest of the day, I can relax a little bit because, you know, he's in a better mood.
Yeah, that's
So,
wonderful.
and I do that routinely, basically 7 days a week. And it works.
Awesome.
It works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. That's
All
great.
right.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you so much for sharing. Love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Also, by the way, Krista, Sherry had shared in the chat that even though we couldn't hear her, hers was, I asked her if we can work together.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's a great connection phrase. I love that. I love that. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to share screen. Okay. All right. So how do we use our connection phrases when we want to prevent a specific challenging behavior, like sundowning or refusals? And we got our second bonus, preventing refusals and sundowning steps cheat sheet. Again, stay till the end because you will get a link for that bonus. All right. So I need another volunteer. A volunteer of someone whose loved one refuses to shower, because man, is that a popular topic. All right. All right. I think I saw Vicky's hand first. What do you think, Jamie?
She was quick. I'm going to ask you to unmute Vicky.
Okay. Welcome, Vicky. All right. Okay.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Good, good. All right. Let me see. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find it real quick. Okay. All right. So we are going to kind of go through the checklist. So let me actually pull up my share screen real quick. Nice. Okay, we got you here. Perfect. Okay. So number one, we want to identify what motivates your loved one or your client. Do they like being with people? Do they like helping people, teaching? So your loved one that refuses showers, what do you think motivates them?
Me?
Yes.
She likes to be around people. She likes like her grandkids and stuff.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. So second, we want to use a connection phrase to engage your loved one or your client. And third, we do not want to point out what they're doing wrong. So these are some of the connection phrases here. Let's see, we can pick, could you help me? Could you show me? All that good stuff. Okay. All right. Ooh, we'll go back. Okay. So here is the situation. So you are going to be your loved one that is refusing to shower, and I am going to be you or be the caregiver, whatever. And we're going to see what it looks like to use a connection phrase to prevent a refusal. All right. So I'll start. Hey, Mom, I just bought these shower tools. Do you think you could help me?
No, I took a shower yesterday. I don't feel like I need one today.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that you're going to shower. I'm not saying you're going to shower. I'm saying that I bought some shower tools and I need your help to try to figure it out. Could you help me?
No, I don't
Okay.
want to go in the shower today.
No, you're not. You're definitely not going in the shower. Why don't we stay out here in the living room? Is that okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So I bought some shower caps for myself because I don't always love to wash my hair. So I'm going to try to put it on real quick. Just, use your imagination, guys. All right. Mom, do you think I'm doing this right?
Yeah, it looks okay.
Okay.
Need to cover your ears though.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, Mom, I don't know if I'm getting this right. Mom, could you try? Could you show me? I'm
Put
giving
it
you the
back
shower
on. I'll
cap.
tuck your hair in for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. Now tuck in your ears
Oh, okay. Got it.
and the back of your hair.
Okay, back of my hair. Perfect. Okay. Hey, Mom, could I see what it looks like on you? You're honestly the best at this stuff. Here's a shower cap.
No, I
Okay.
don't want it on me.
Okay, no worries. I'll give it to you to have for later, okay?
I don't want it.
Okay. I'll hold on to it for right now. Okay. So I need help with one more thing, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I bought these shower wipes things. It kind of looks like something that you clean the table with, but like you clean you with it. Isn't that crazy?
No, I like those.
You like those? Here,
As long as I don't have to get in the shower.
no,
I'll use those.
Yeah, do it. Here, there you go. Yeah, try it. Here. Am I doing this right? Here, can you show me?
Yeah, here, I'll do it for you. I'll show you
Okay.
how to do it.
Okay, okay. Here, can you show me on you just so I know what it looks like?
Get
'Cause I
your
need to see.
arms.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get your feet. Make sure you get your feet
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
and your
Yeah.
girl bits.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Mom. Here, I'll give you some of these shower wipes since you're a fan of these, since you don't have to go into the shower. I really thank you so much for helping me.
No problem.
All right. Scene. Awesome, man. You gave me a run for my money.
I was challenging my mother the whole way.
Yes. All right. So let me see. I'll go back to why this works. So first off, I didn't call attention to you needing a shower. That's the number one thing. I also asked for your help. So I used the connection phrase and of I need your help. And that implied that she didn't need, or that you didn't need help, that I needed your help. I gave you autonomy, but I set you up for success because I first modeled what I wanted you to do. And then I asked you to show me on you as a way to get you to participate. Again, I'm not pointing out that you need a shower. And I would say if I had been successful at getting you into the shower, I could have tried saying, I don't like how this feels on my head. I want to try to rinse this off. Could you help me rinse this off? Maybe you can rinse yours off, but we didn't get that far with you. So that's okay. Sometimes you got to pick your battles. And you end it with thanking them, which instills a feeling of them being valued. So chances are, if I'm the person that's making you feel good, and I am making you feel helpful, chances are you may just let me shower you at some point. We'll see. Maybe not today, but I'm raising the odds that you're going to let me shower you. And hey, we got you clean and got you to be okay with shower wipes. So that's awesome. That's a win. All right. Thank you so much for volunteering for that.
No worries.
All right. Okay. I see in the chat, where do you get shower wipes? Amazon for very, very cheap. Let's see. And Jamie, there's someone who's struggling to get on Zoom in our text stuff. So you might want to help her. Trisha says my dad uses Huggy wipes. Okay, great. All right. Let's see, let's get back to here. Okay. All righty. So to recap, we identify what motivates our person. We choose our connection phrase accordingly. So it looked like for another trick I could have pulled with Vicky is I could have said, hey, your granddaughter's going to come over in about an hour. Why don't we go freshen up really quick? Again, speaking to what motivates them. And you want to give them something to focus on that isn't the challenging behavior. All right, so we got one-on-one coaching, and Vicky, you are our winner of some free one-on-one coaching for volunteering.
Yay. Thank you.
Great job. Don't worry, Juanita, I haven't forgotten about you. I haven't forgotten about you, don't worry. Okay. All right. Okay, so we are on section numero dos. Calming challenging dementia behaviors. Okay. All right. So the two most common ways that caregivers try to calm challenging behaviors are logic, evidence, and reason, or correcting their mistakes and telling them to stop. So these don't work for a few reasons. One, dementia makes it so they can't hold on to new information or keep track of old ones. And second, correcting doesn't work because they're, one, typically unaware of their waning abilities. And if they are aware, they either feel embarrassed and don't want others to know that they need help, or they want to keep their life as normal as possible. Oh, we got our third bonus. 6 calming steps. So again, stay till the end for that link. All right, so we got a few success stories with calming steps. So let's see. Karen Dunn here says, client denies reality that she has to go home, can't reason with her, told her that the girl with the long hair will be making dinner. Let's see, I think the best one is probably Emmy over here. So she said, over the weekend, mom got into her I want to go home mindset. Instead of, but you are home, we used Krista's advice of, do you need to go home? We had to use this a couple times. The big one was, I need to get my slippers. So the background is her mom loves slippers. And so what she did is she waited for her mom to get comfy in her chair and kicked her shoes off. And what she learned is that she needed her toenails cut bad. So slippers equal comfort in her mind. Okay, so I'm going to need 2 volunteers now. So one volunteer who's dealing with, I want to go home, and another volunteer who is dealing with a loved one who is accusing you of something. Okay.
Okay. Wendy, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to unmute.
Okay, Wendy, you're still muted. So you're gonna
Now I'm good.
Perfect. Okay. So Wendy, what does your loved one do? Do they ask to go home, or do they
Asked to go home.
Okay, they asked to go home. I know this is a real popular one. If there's like a greatest hits of like challenging behaviors, that'd probably be like number 1.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can get our screen share back. Okay. Okay, so the 6 calming steps for I want to go home is 1, we want to ask a simple question to figure out what their reality is. Second, we want to ask our person what they need at home, or if someone is at home. We want to figure out why she's asking to go home, kind of like in the example at the beginning. We want to then repeat what they said so that they know we're listening. We want to validate their feelings and reassure them. We want to give them an excuse that matches their situation, or we want to meet their concern, and we want to redirect them with an activity. Okay, So, okay. All right. Trying to find it real quick. Okay. So let's see. We'll say in this one, you are wanting to go home because you are tired. You don't know where your bed is. You don't want to ask me for where your bed's at. You just want to go home because you know where your bed is at home. That's what your beliefs are. So I'm approaching you. Hey, Mom, what are you doing?
I need to go home.
Mom,
Can
you
I
are
go home now?
Mom, you've lived in this house for 30 years. This is home.
Yeah, I know. But I gotta get home. I gotta find Mom. Mom will help me. I know.
Okay, you are Mom. I am your kid. Okay. This, I don't know
But
how
I
many
gotta
times
find
a day.
Mom. I need to talk to Mom.
Okay, you're Mom though.
Can we get on the road and go home right now?
Okay, Mom, I don't have time. I don't have time to drive you around the block. I don't have time. Okay, I just don't.
But please, I know if I talk to Mom, I'll be okay.
Oh my
I need the Mom.
I swear to God, it's like hitting my head against a brick wall. Okay, scene. All right. You did a great job. Yeah, so that's what it looks like for a lot of us. So we're going to go through the calming steps. So we're going to switch roles now, since you now know how to do this.
Well, we work on it.
It's okay. So I'm going to pull this up so that you have it in front of you. So now I'm the one who's asking to go home. So first we want to ask a simple question to figure out what my reality is. You want to ask if there's something I need. If you don't already know. You want to repeat what I'm saying, validate my feelings, meet my concern, redirect me. Okay. All right. So, all right, go ahead. I'm trying to go home.
What's wrong, Mom? You seem a little bit upset.
I just need to go home.
Oh, you want to go home? Is
Yeah.
there something you're needing at home?
I just need to get to the room, the thing.
Oh, okay. So you want to get to the room. Okay.
Yeah, the room with the drawer thing.
Yeah,
Drawer
I
thing.
think you're probably wanting to see the bedroom, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that what you'd like to see?
Yeah.
Well, I think I could help you.
Yeah.
Would you like me to help you? Would you like to go right now?
Yeah, yes. I want to go home and go to bed.
All right. That sounds like a good plan. Well, I'll tell you what, if you give me just a minute, let me take care of something. I think we can get you there. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, good.
I'm just really tired.
Yeah, I get that. I get tired too. Sometimes we just wear out, don't we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll get you there. Okay. Give me just 1 minute.
Okay. Scene. Great job. Man, you killed it. You killed it. All right.
I do this often.
I love it. You're a natural. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, we did that. So to recap, we calmed a specific challenging behavior. We listened and addressed their concerns, and we gave them a calming activity. All right. Again, thank you so much for volunteering.
Sure. That was fun.
All right. Great. Okay. All righty. Oh, someone won a Walmart gift card. All right. So let's see who our lucky winner is. Juanita, you are a lucky winner of the Walmart gift card. All right. Juanita, perfect. All right. So I will have one more volunteer to whose loved one does refusals. So the other one. Or yeah, if your loved one accuses you, I'm sorry, that's what it is. Let's see.
Okay, so there was a couple people that were pretty quick to this, but there's one person that I've seen volunteer 3 times. I just got the name iPhone. Looks like it's a lady in maybe in your car. I'm gonna prompt you to unmute.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I will add a pen. What is your name?
Kathy.
Kathy. Welcome.
Mhm.
Welcome, welcome. All right. All right, Miss Kathy. So your loved one refuses, right? Or accuses you of stealing stuff. God, why do I keep saying refusing? All right. So in our scenario, you believe that I stole your car keys. So I for sure stole them in your mind. So I'm going to react as I think most of us would when we're being accused of something. So let's see. You start by saying you stole my car keys.
You stole my car keys.
No, I didn't. Barbara, I didn't steal your car keys. You can't even drive.
Yes, you did. I saw you. You took my keys.
Barbara, I didn't take your keys. You probably freaking hid them because you always hide them places.
No, I didn't. You took my keys. I saw you.
Barbara, I didn't take your keys.
Yes, you did.
No, you
I
didn't
saw
see
you.
anything.
I did.
I can show you on the camera that you were the one that hid them away.
You can go look at the camera, but I saw you. I know what I saw. You can't tell me what I saw. I saw you.
Okay, all right, Barbara, I can't do this. I can't do this. All right, scene. Perfect. That's great. All right, so we are now going to switch roles. We're going to switch roles, and so first we are going to let's see. It's going to be the same thing, except now you're the caregiver. I'm the person that thinks that you stole my car. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Yes. And we are going to go through the calming steps. So let's go back real quick to look at that. So repeat what they said so they know they're listening. Validate their feelings. Give them an excuse that matches the situation, or give space, or redirect them with an activity that fits with their realities and needs. All right. You stole my car keys.
Barbara, I didn't steal your car keys.
Yes, you did.
Barbara, why do you think I stole your car keys?
Because I saw you steal my keys. Are you dumb?
Miss Barbara, I'm sorry, but I didn't steal your car keys. And if you saw me, I don't think it was me. Maybe it was somebody that looked like me, but I'm very sorry if you think I did that. Do you think you misplaced them?
I saw you. I saw you do it.
Well, Miss Barbara, why don't we go to your room and look and see if we can find your car keys?
No,
I
don't look for stuff with a thief. Okay, all right.
Okay, well,
great. Scene. Okay, so here's what's there. So it's not a great move to accept blame, because that can antagonize them further. But I think also any attempt to defend yourself is going to be met with resistance. So what you want to do is just repeat back what I said, because that will let me know that you're taking me seriously, but it's also not implying blame while you're trying to figure out what my true belief system is right now. And then from there, you want to give me an excuse as to what happened that gets you on my side. So let's see. We'll switch roles, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay. All right. You're saying that I stole your keys.
you stole my keys.
Oh, Barbara, your keys are missing?
Yes, they are, and you stole them.
Oh, Barbara. God, I hate it when that happens. You know what? Sometimes I really forget stuff, and I must have just misplaced it. I'm so sorry. Is it okay if I help you look?
Yes,
Okay.
we
Okay.
can look.
Okay, let's go to your room and look, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Seeing. Yeah. All right. So that's why I think it's good to use the calming steps for different behaviors, because there's a little bit of variation, but you did awesome. I love it. You're very, very
Thank you.
convincing.
Yes, I had a client accuse me of stealing her picture.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Okay. Alrighty. So I thank you so much for volunteering. We're going to go on. All right. All right. So again, to recap, we want to listen and address their concern, and we want to redirect them with a calming activity. And if for whatever reason it still gets heated, emotions are still high, you want to give them space. You want to leave and come back. All right. We already gave away the Walmart gift card. All right. So way number 3 is prioritizing. Okay. All right, so what do I mean by prioritizing? Let's see, we'll take a quick survey here. How many of us would consider ourselves like type A, go-getter, the kind of person in our family that just takes all the responsibility, all that good stuff? You're the person that said, well, no one else would step up, so I guess I got to do it. And this goes if you're a professional, if you're a distance caregiver, if you are a home caregiver, not even the main caregiver, like this goes for any of us. All right. I definitely see some folks in the chat. Okay, great. All right. So if that sounds like you, I have got great news for you. You don't have to do all the things. The 2 key things you should be prioritizing is 1, conserving your emotional energy, and 2, learning information and doing tasks that give you back more time. So number 1, conserving your emotional energy. So that means you are being selective with what situations, with your loved one, with your client, with your care partner, and with whom you are getting emotionally invested in. Let's see. I mean, as caregivers, we care about people. But the thing is, our ability to stay calm, to empathize, to stay patient is more like a battery than a virtue. So a quick story that shows a perfect example is one of our members, Jennifer. She, let's see, during an expert workshop that I was hosting with one of my social worker colleagues in my caregiver membership, Jennifer mentioned that she was feeling resentful of her brother not pulling equal weight when it came to caregiving duties. And that resentment was eating her up inside. And I asked her, how do you feel after talking to him and really focusing on those feelings of resentment? And she replied, emotionally exhausted. I then said, your feelings are 100% valid and justified. However, I think you need to ask yourself, is putting so much energy into trying to convince your brother to help and then being disappointed when he doesn't help time and time again serving you or your loved one? And she paused for a moment and said, no, it isn't. I then added, maybe the first step in freeing up some emotional energy is accepting that your brother is not going to help you in the way that you want or need, and release yourself from that resentment and that constant cycle of getting your feelings hurt. And once you do that, you are left with a choice that either you're going to be okay with the help he gives or look for help elsewhere. How would you think it would feel not to be constantly disappointed by your brother? And she said, it would be a huge weight lifted off of me. Thank you. So the moral of the story is that being aware of emotional drains in our life and making sure that you're protective of what you put your emotional energy towards is the thing that's going to protect you from burnout and compassion fatigue. And this happens to all caregivers. It doesn't matter if we're 24/7 home caregivers, professional caregivers, if our loved ones in long-term care, or if we're not even the main caregiver. We need to conserve our emotional energy. Tell me in the chat if you have any emotional vampires. And just let us know. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So the second thing we want to think about as far as emotional energy is we want to think about and be honest with ourselves on what recharges us. So I'm sure the number one piece of advice we all hear is join a support group, join a support group. And the thing is, some of us get charged up from having folks around, and some of us prefer to recharge by ourselves or getting some of that alone time. So we are going to do some breakout rooms. And the question of your group is going to be, do you recharge better with a group of people or alone, and why? Or if it's neither one of those things, what helps you recharge? So Jamie is going to put you in some breakout rooms. You will have about 10 minutes to do that. And if you don't make it into a breakout room, then we'll ask the folks that are still out here. No worries.
Okay, so real quick, to get into a breakout room, there's a couple things you have to be aware of. I'm gonna have a prompt come up here in a minute. And so that's gonna be a little button that pops up on your phone or on your computer. And you're gonna have to actually press join breakout room to join the breakout room. If you don't do that, you'll stay in here with me and Krista. Also, I'm gonna prompt everyone to unmute once we got everyone in the rooms. You can unmute yourself once you're in the room, but you should accept the prompt to unmute too. Otherwise, you'll still be on mute. So just be aware of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that prompt here in a second. There will be it's going to be a big mix of whether you have a couple people or like 8 people. Usually the average is around 5 that make it in. So everyone should have, 1 to 2 minutes each. Okay, so now you can go ahead and accept the prompts. So go ahead and click the button, guys, to join your breakout room.
Let's see, we still got quite a few of us so if you haven't pressed the button, make sure to do so.
Yeah, you should have a little prompt that came up on your screen. And if you click that, I'll put you in a breakout room. Otherwise, you'll just hang out with me and Krista here for next 10 minutes or so. People are getting there, slowly ticking down. We still got 60 in here, though. That's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna prompt everyone to unmute, so it might get a little loud in here.
How we do it? Simple. We took it fresh out of a Domino's oven. We put it in a Domino's box. Put that box in Domino's bag. Put that bag in a Domino's box. Where your doorbell.
Then if anyone didn't make it into a breakout room, if you want to share how you best recharge or want to talk, feel free to do so. And if you're just getting back to your device now, there should be a little button to join your breakout room. So just press that if you see it.
All right. Yeah, so we can unmute if we want. I guess maybe not all 50 of us at once, but I see you, Dawn. What's one way that you recharge? I'll ask you to unmute.
I like to take a walk.
Okay, great. Great. All right. Awesome. That's a good way to recharge. Okay.
Now, how you like to recharge? So a lot of HGTV.
You could also put your answer in chat as well if you don't necessarily want to unmute. No worries. Let's see, I see Cheryl or Susan says, I recharge by getting out into nature, looking and listening to nature. Cheryl, I'll unmute you. How do you like to recharge?
My situation is a little different because I'm a long distance caregiver, but after I have to do things dealing with my mom and my brother, I usually have to go outside and take a very long walk or a run. Otherwise, I like to read books to recharge.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Love that.
Or make cookies. That's my stress relief.
Oh, I love that.
I make cookies and then I have to find someone to give them to because I don't eat them.
No, there you go. All right, great. All right, let's see. I don't know, Jamie, what do you like to do to recharge? Oh, you got to unmute. There you go.
Yeah, I like to just watch stuff on the computer or watch a movie, play some games. I'm a true millennial, so.
Hey, caregivers come in all ages. All right, so someone said, I like to sit down on our deck watching the birds.
Oh, that's nice.
Bill says, I'm able to send my wife to adult daycare 3 days a week, quiet time and hanging out with friends. Great. Awesome. All right, how much time do we have left?
We have about 5 minutes left. I'll send a message to the people in breakout rooms, just letting them know.
Okay. All right, great. Let's see who else is here. Ooh, I see yoga. Great. 5 minutes left for breakout rooms. Awesome. Let's see. Cindy. Oh, uh-oh. Where'd it go? All right, Cindy, I'll ask you to unmute Cindy. And what do you like to do to recharge? Oh, I don't know who's at our door. Don't worry about it, guys. All right, probably someone delivering a package.
Yeah, if they knock again, we got 4 minutes left, so I can read some of the things in chat here. I think did you say the quiet time or hang out with friends for lunch from Lucy? We got yoga. Like to have a cup of tea and listen to soothing music. You must be British.
That's great.
Mary was checking on her loved one. Yeah, we're in breakout rooms right now, so we have a few minutes left where most people are in breakout rooms, but then there's the people who didn't make it in breakout rooms are just hanging out with us for a few more minutes.
Yeah. But like, it just seems weird that she always has so much cash lying around and doesn't like banks. But like, I know that's still on, but.
All right. Let's see. Mary says she recharges with a little quiet time and spent a few days with her siblings. That's great. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Anybody else want to share how they recharge in the comments, or unmute yourself and share?
If anyone has a question or anything they want
to
bounce off us.
This is a great time for a question too. Definitely, since it's, just us girls and guys. Just an intimate group of, 50 of us. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So I think we hit at least on 3 of the most common challenging behaviors. But if there's a challenging behavior we didn't hit on, this would be a great opportunity as well while we're waiting. How much time do we got left, Jamie?
We have 2 minutes left. I'm actually broadcasting that right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Great. I know I also like to get some packages. Oh, go for a ride. Nice. That's great.
You were talking to Mom? She was so calm.
Let's see. All right.
We have a question from Susan. Says her mom gets up in the nighttime and wants to know where the kids who are sleeping with her went.
That is a good question. So it would probably be very similar to the I want to go home example. Hallucinations are very common, especially I'd say it's like kids, dogs, bugs, intruders, all that type of stuff. So that would be the best thing to do is maybe ask a few simple questions or just give an excuse that would make sense given the information that you do know. So it could be, oh, they had to go home. Don't worry, they'll be back later, that type of stuff. So that's always a good one. Let me see. How do I handle a question about a deceased family member? Yeah, so that very much depends. So everyone's different. I would say it's a little bit of a gray area. So the way that I distinguish this is if your person is demanding the truth, if in their mind it is a possibility that that person has passed, then I think it's okay to just tell them. It's okay if they're sad. Like it's fine. And beyond that, I mean, if it's not a possibility in their mind whatsoever, then okay, yeah. So she thinks that he is alive. I would ask her. I don't know, where was he the last time you saw him? That will give you an idea, a little bit more idea of what's happening in her world, and then you give an excuse that makes sense. He's on a business trip. He's at work, like whatever would make sense. See, how do I handle mother who asked to go to the table and is at the table? Man, that is a. I'd probably do something similar since you're not going to convince her. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are getting back. We're getting back into it. How was your breakout room, everybody? Tell me in the chat. Oh, perfect. That's great. All right, I gotta mute everybody, but just so that there isn't like a big barrage of noise here. Oh, good. That was wonderful. Awesome. Oh, good. Okay. All right. Everybody's coming back.
All right, everyone should be back now.
Very helpful. I like sharing. Great. Nice to be one-on-one. Yeah, definitely. That was good. Oh, I love that. Yay. Very helpful. Awesome. Couldn't get audio to work, but that's okay. Yeah, that's what chat's for. That's good. Oh, that's great. Yay. Okay. Good to not feel alone. That's great. Very helpful information. All right. Awesome. Okay. I'll go back to share screen. Okay. All right. So number 2, we want to learn information and do tasks that give you back more time. So working smarter, not harder. Have you felt overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information out there about dementia? If you have, put that in the chat. You could say yes. You could say, I feel okay. All right.
That's a lot of strong yeses.
Whoo. All right. So what will help you with challenging behaviors is prioritizing the information and the tasks that give you back time. All right. So I got a good story example, and that is from, let's see. All right. So Anne was one of my very first coaching clients, and she was a professional caregiver. And when I tell you that girlfriend was educated, she was educated. Like, she had like 2 degrees, and despite all of that and saying she loved to learn, she felt like a failure. She was hiding behind just learning, taking in, to avoid actually getting her hands dirty, so to speak. She asked me what she needed to learn to be ready. And I said, look, first off, no one is ever ready for challenging behaviors. It doesn't matter how many books you read or how much stuff you do. What you should do is focus on taking 1 tip a day, or 1 tip every week even, and see if it works for you and your client in the real world. Our folks in the challenge have seen that work in real life, because truly, it's not about getting to know absolutely everything. It's about being able to take action. It's about taking one little bit of information at a time and applying it. From there, you'll stop wasting so much time on things that honestly are not going to help you in the long run. So she was skeptical at first, but what she was able to do when she did try that was actually start making progress with her clients. So instead of being just bogged down with all this anxiety about, do I know enough? Do I know enough? Do I know enough? She was able to just help her clients. So when you're learning communication tips and activities and all that good stuff, you want to prioritize tips and systems that give you back more time. An example of what I mean by prioritizing systems is Natasha. So Natasha came to us, came to the challenge and came into our membership looking for solutions to help her mom adjust to living to a new place. She has gotten some incredible results with implementing a system of activities that turned her mom's aggression into productive activities. I think the main one she likes to do is sweeping. That's her mom's main love, because she likes to look out at the guys. Another example too is Sherry. Sherry went from being really frustrated that her dad wasn't believing her, that her mom was gone. Like, she even went as far as to like take him to her grave, trying to use logic, evidence, and reason. But after applying one small tip from us, she felt more relaxed and more confident knowing what to say. So the moral of this story is that we want to take action. So tell me in the chat, if you've been in the challenge, one tip that has worked for you this week, just so we can give everybody else some ideas. All right. And I asked both in the Facebook group and emails which ones you've faced. So it could be accusations, hallucinations, sundowning. Really, it's not about knowing absolutely everything. It is about taking it one tip at a time and being focused. Oh, Carol says asking for help. Absolutely. Let's see. Watching tone and facial expressions. Yes. All right. So looking beyond this workshop or this challenge, how are you going to continue to take action? So real quick, I want to take you a little bit behind the scenes of what I've been doing, just to share what you can do. So at the very beginning of the pandemic, after seeing just how really deeply inadequate the healthcare system was for helping caregivers and healthcare workers with challenging behaviors, like, honestly, you would be shocked just how almost nothing the training is for professional caregivers. I mean, if you have hired an aide, then you know that it's like a 50-50 shot that they are going to do anything for your loved one other than sit there and be on their phone. So I decided to start a membership for caregivers that focus specifically on preventing and calming challenging behaviors naturally. And I've been doing that since like September 2020. And what I've learned from listening and teaching hundreds of caregivers that are distance, home, professional, all the good stuff is managing challenging behaviors on your own is really freaking hard. You think the solution is going to be to hire help, but again, only to realize that they're just going to sit there and you've wasted time, you've wasted money. It sucks. Or you try to go for the free videos and tools, and it seems awesome at first, but eventually you just get overwhelmed, kind of like my coaching client, Anne. And if you place your loved one in long-term care, what you start to realize, and I think all of us that have loved ones in long-term care that are here know, that what ends up happening is it turns into a new job where you're advocating for them. And due to the low staffing, it's like you're constantly worried that something is going to happen, like falls, things of that nature. It's definitely not the end of being a caregiver to place your loved one in long-term care. I wish that's how it worked. I mean, it certainly makes it so that you're not the primary caregiver anymore, but it is still a job and a freaking half. Goodness, I interviewed this one gentleman. I don't know why his name is escaping me. I literally just saw him today. Anyways, his wife was in long-term care next to his home, and he goes and sees her every day because of the low staffing, just to make sure she's being taken care of properly. Let's see. All right. So what absolutely will help is a focused plan that is relevant to what you're seeing, is flexible, and fits what will actually help you. So you have 3 choices moving forward this evening. You can 1, do nothing. 2, make your own path, which honestly is pretty overwhelming. Or 3, you can join our community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easy. All right. So Dementia Caregiving Made Easy is a membership for caregivers where you learn how to naturally or without medication prevent and calm challenging behaviors with a plan that is personalized to you and your journey. It gives you a focused path that matches your individual goals to mastering challenging behaviors in the order that is most relevant to you. So this feature of it being sorted to it being relevant to you is brand new. So you will be able to get a path that works specifically for you and your situation, whether you're a home caregiver, whether you are someone that is a distance caregiver, professional, there is a place for all of us. And regardless of which path you take, in the membership, you have an option to do a small group. I know a bunch of us said we loved the breakout rooms, something that honestly we could have every week or every other week or whatever you guys decide as a group. Oh, hold on. So I'm going to have one of our members, Anne, via video, share a little bit of what it's like to be part of small groups.
Looks like the audio is not coming through.
Okay. Let me stop. Let me see.
I feel like the more I learn about characteristics and behaviors of dementia,
let me go back real quick. Sorry about that, everybody.
Even if it's not an issue that I'm dealing with, it might come up in the future. So hearing what people are going through that are in different stages and different situations and different behaviors, I know that that might happen in the future for me. And so I can just kind of put that in my toolbox, you know, of ideas or what to do. And then I feel like the more I learn about characteristics and behaviors of dementia that are common and widespread, I will recognize that when it happens, you know, to where I'll hopefully be better prepared.
All right. So I'm not sure. Hopefully you guys heard that. Jamie, I guess maybe tell me in the chat real quick if we heard that. Working now. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So how it works is you customize 2 things in your membership. 1, how you prefer to learn. So you would join a community building or skill building. So community building focuses more on groups, skill building focuses more on workshops, and you would get weekly short video lessons, so like 3 to 4 minutes, and action steps. So if you're part of the challenge, it's very similar to that. And you get to pick the behaviors that are most relevant to you. So real quick, I'm going to call up what this looks like. All right. Okay. All right. So in option 1, you are building your skills. So we recommend this for folks that are don't necessarily already have a good support system in place, who have an understanding. We definitely recommend this for professional caregivers, for folks that have been caregiving for a while, and for folks who are very short on time, who are super busy, and they can maybe only commit to doing something like once a month tops. This is a great one for you. You will be able to pick things that are relevant to you. So we'll get to that in just a moment. And option 2 is a support structure. So this is if you are a home caregiver, you have your loved one in long-term care. This is if you are looking to really build yourself up with challenging behaviors from the ground up. And again, you will get relevant challenging behaviors. So we have 2 categories of challenging behaviors, either aggressive and delusional, or confused and difficult. And you'll also get some of the most common ones as well. And if you are someone who isn't great with technology, not to worry, we have you covered. I personally call each and every one of my new members to make sure that they know what they're doing and they feel confident with their membership. So what you'll do is super, super easy. You take a quiz, press the button, you click next. It tells you a little bit about the different plans you can get, different behaviors. It explains what you'll be learning. And at the very end, you choose your membership style and your behaviors. And that's it. Once you click customize your membership, you will be emailed your new stuff, and that's it. All right, let's see. Go back to my slides. All right. Okay. You guys are really seeing behind the scenes here. All right. So like I was saying before, our customizable custom membership is very much a brand new feature. Like I said, we've been doing this with hundreds of caregivers, and we've learned what suits most caregivers the best when it comes to challenging behaviors, and we know how to make it easier. And like I said, if technology makes you nervous, I personally call you and help you set it up. So in addition to the customized membership, you get dozens of cheat sheets, checklists, and guides. And how you can use that is one of our members, Cindy, she felt like there wasn't much she could do to help her family since she wasn't the main caregiver until she got her hand on some of these. Now, when there's an issue or her sister needs an activity or redirection idea, she can shoot her sister an email and feel like she is really making a difference in her family. Really cool. You'll also get expert guests every other month, like dietitians, psychiatrists, social workers, OT, speech therapy, and more. What Lisa was able to do with our expert Q&A is before her loved one in long-term care was struggling to sleep, and after a Q&A we had with psychiatrist Dr. Turner, Lisa was able to know exactly what to ask her doctor and get her loved one's sleep issues sorted. So the experts come to you in the membership. You also get access to workshops like this every month. So it's very similar to this, but it's focused on an individual challenging behavior. So if you love this workshop and you're just like, man, I want more of this, then you'll definitely love the membership.
I know redirection, so.
All right, hold on. So I'm going to have our member Tamara explain a little bit of what she got out of our redirection workshop.
I've had kids, I know redirection. So what I was doing though, how I was doing it was making things worse. Because he was like, I was like, let's do 180. Like he would be talking about something. I'm like, oh, it's going to rain. So then you pointed out, yeah, well, he's feeling like you don't listen to me, you don't care what I think, and creating a lot of animosity. So learning how to do it properly, where you don't just do 180, where you enter into the conversation and then, slowly change the subject is working much better.
All right. Also, you will get several bonus guides that are just a part of the membership. You get them, I want to say, at least once a month. What Pam was able to do is save herself time, not having to hunt down all the links to all the equipment that her mom needed. And that allowed her to quickly find the stuff that she needed. So she didn't have to go hunting around the internet looking for stuff. She was able to just boop, download something, get it. So who is this not for? This is not for are folks who are looking for a medication or a very in-depth scientific education on dementia and challenging behaviors. If that's what you're looking for, this membership will probably not be for you. But if you're looking to learn practical communication skills and activities like we've been talking about in this workshop, that will help you prevent and calm challenging behaviors easier and faster, then you have found your spot. You found it. So a regular membership is $30 a month, and you get all of it. You get the custom membership. You get the expert Q&As. You get the monthly workshops. You get the cheat sheets and guides. You get all of that for $30 a month. But if you sign up tonight before midnight, tonight's price is $24 a month. That is locked in. That is your price forever if you sign up tonight before midnight. Another, just to make it even sweeter, in addition to the customized membership, the guides, the expert Q&As, the workshops, the support groups, you will also get a library of previous workshops that we've done, a library of expert Q&As, so you can watch Dr. Turner for yourself and see what he had to say. He is excellent at breaking down really complicated stuff with medication and making it be something that is understandable. And like I said, that's not most of our MO there with medication, but he was a very special case. And third, you get an activities guide for challenging behaviors. If you join tonight, you get all of this as well. Another option as well is something called the VIP membership. So this is something that I'm offering to you this opening that will never, ever come back again. I'm not saying this to be salesy or whatever. I'm honestly saying that because I will genuinely run out of time to do this. If you purchase a VIP membership, you get a 30-minute one-on-one coaching session every single month. So usually case managers or online coaches cost like $100, $150, $200. But for the membership, for a limited time, basically just for this opening, it is $49. And if you sign up tonight before midnight, you get it for $39 a month. So that is the customized membership, the guides, the bonuses, our library of all our previous workshops, the workshops every month, the support groups, like you get everything, and the one-on-one coaching for $39 a month. So what coaching would look like is Paula, who's a professional caregiver, was in a crisis, and she had peace of mind knowing that she could get advice on how she should proceed when she needed it the most. So again, you get the weekly videos and training materials, a monthly workshop or expert Q&A, small groups, And with VIP, you get one-on-one coaching. So that is a value of $244 a month, and plus an extra 100 if you do coaching. All for $24 if you do the regular membership and $39 if you do VIP. Like, honestly, like I said, I'm not going to have time to have everybody to coach everybody, basically. So like, I'm never going to be able to do this again after this. So I would definitely take advantage. So in case you need some time to think about it, the regular price will be available until Tuesday, May 31st at midnight. That's when we close our membership again. We have a closed membership structure because I like to focus all my attention on my members. Now, last time we opened was like 4 months ago. So if you miss it now, it's going to be a really long time before we open again. So if you want to join the community, click the link in the chat. Jamie's putting it in the chat, or we're going to be sending out an email after this. Make sure to use that link in your email. And as promised, the bonuses we've been talking about, the connection building phrases, the 6 steps to calming, all that type of stuff, in addition to word searches and activity cheat sheets and trigger checklist. You get all of that just as a thank you for coming tonight. You want to use this link, and this is the same link that will get you 20% off your Dementia Caregiving Made Easy membership. Ooh, we got a prize. This is the grand prize, you guys. Oh my Lanta. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Okay. Jamie, will you do the honors of the grand prize?
All right. I'm just gonna kind of randomly scroll chat as fast as possible and throw my finger down. Oh, we got Sandra Nordquist.
Woo! Sandra Northquist. All right. Oh, good question. So cancellation policy. Yeah, you can pick me. Yes. So it's month to month. So we don't, honestly, I freaking hate it when memberships will freaking trick you with saying like, oh, it's like this much a month, but you have to pay for like 6 months in bulk. No, we don't do that around here. you can cancel whenever. But I promise you, it is, like I said, especially with the VIP coaching, like I promise you. How do I see, how do I sign up? Jamie's going to be putting a link in the chat. Yes, Diane's in. Ah! Oh my God, I'm so excited. Guys. All right. Oh man, Pam, who's one of our members, is here. So she's congratulating folks. Guys, she has an incredible group. She's an incredible leader. Honestly, you guys will freaking love it. You honestly will. It is the best. All right, so Jamie's putting the link in the chat right here. So make sure to check the chat. He's going to continuously put it in there. So like I said, everybody who are winners tonight of our prizes, you are going to get an email from me tomorrow so we can work out how we'll get you the prizes, probably mostly through Amazon. Alrighty, so we are gotten to our question and answer section. Oh man, so folks, thank you so much for hanging with us. This is a part, so if you do need to head out, it's totally cool if you need to, but if you have questions that you want answered, this is your time. This is your time.
I do want to say I do have a lot of questions saved from people who had asked earlier, so we'll be kind of mixing those in with people asking. Before we start the question and answers, I just wanted to throw out there that Pam did want to say anything. I'd love to hear from her. It's great to see her here. And then yeah, that's about it. If any, there was a few other questions about the membership I was kind of fielding as things go along. I think you answered most of them, but that web page I'm sending right now that has all the workshop So this event that you've been in, that has all the bonuses. So if you go to that link, it's not just for the membership, it's also all the free stuff that we're giving away with this workshop. You go there, it's all the links are right at the top, you can download. And then if you have any other questions about the membership, it's all on that page as well. You just scroll down and you'll see all the questions to all your answers there. Yeah, so if anyone does have a question, you could start raising your digital hands and I'll start, well, I guess Krista will call on people and I'll unmute them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see some digital hands. So Judy, I will get you, my friend. I'll ask you to unmute. Perfect. What's your question?
Okay, well, my dad has dementia, but the thing that with him is what he's doing is he rummages through everything. And so he goes through all my drawers and he'll take things out and then he hides things. And that I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So obviously we know that telling our folks that, or telling our folks to stop or putting reminders up, that doesn't always work.
Oh, I don't even do that.
Yes. So what I would do is I would give him things that he can rummage through. So maybe you could put a sign that says like your loved one's name on the drawer. You could put stuff out for him to be able to rifle through, and anything that you don't want him going through, probably just locking it up. Or I know I was talking about this in the Q&A the other day. So there is something on Amazon that you can purchase that I believe it's supposed to be a keychain, but honestly, if you're creative and you can use duct tape to tape it around items.
No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm not creative.
Well, you use some duct tape to, like, let's just say, I'm just using my phone as an example. Like if this is like their TV remote and he loves to, I don't know, toss stuff around and the remote, I don't know, ends up somewhere, you can take some duct tape and tape this tile thing on it. And what it comes with is an alarm system. So you press a button and that tile thing that you taped on your remote will go off. So if he's thrown it away somewhere, it will make a sound like beep, 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 beep.
Oh.
And yeah, and you'll be able to find it that much easier. So
oh, okay. What is it?
Let's see. I can have Jamie put the link in chat because I might mess up our stream.
Okay.
I'll write a note for myself to do that.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's hard, and I don't know. I can't hide it. I mean, because he's in every drawer. I mean, I can shut my doors, I mean, but he just gets into everything other than short of locking my door. And I guess I will have to change my lock on my door.
Yeah.
But
I know, I wish I had a better answer, but I think that the one piece of comfort I can give you is the good and bad thing about dementia is that it changes. So if there's something you don't like, it will pass. It will. It will pass. So I mean, the thing is the way I see it is giving them things that they can rifle through, like maybe having like a little rifle drawer or like a rifle shoebox of him to like pull stuff out. So stuff that he can. So if you see him start to rifle through something, you'd be like, hey, your stuff is over here.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. But he's very helpful. He loves to do dishes because he was always a hard worker. And, but then he wants to throw my stuff away, my artificial flowers. Oh, these are trash. They're dead.
Yeah.
So, but I'd never heard of that part of it. So yeah. that was different. But yeah, I mean, I don't ever, tell him no or whatever. I just let him do it. And so I was just, kind of wanting to know about that. But
yeah, of course. I know that's
okay.
a big one. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
But all right. So I saw somebody that said that they did not hear the answer to what to do if they say they're at the table. So my answer to that was very similar to what we were talking about with I want to go home. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. My cat is like sitting right next to me. you know, since it's us girls, I'll show you my cat real quick. Oh, look at this cat. Like, he has his paw in my hand. Come on. Okay, sorry. Anyways. Okay. I had to. He was being too cute. Okay. Alrighty. Anyways, what I was saying, it's just distracting me. So as far as them demanding to go to the table when they're at the table, I would give them an excuse. That I would first ask, what do you need at the table? And hopefully they'll tell you, and that will give you a little bit of room to figure out, okay, what would be an excuse that would make sense? Then you might want to lead them away from the table then, and then maybe lead them right back. There you are, we found the table. So again, as hard as it to say, like, you're at the table. If it's not the reality, it's not the reality. All right, let's see. Donna, I'll have you go next. So I'll add a pen and I'll ask you to unmute. What is your question?
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for what all you do.
Of course,
I
my
actually
pleasure.
there's a lot of questions I'd like to ask you, but some of them have been addressed. But one thing I haven't heard about is, like, if your loved one gets frustrated about getting dressed because they can't do things, mobility as far as their hands, like buttoning things and unbuttoning things and zippering things, but they don't want your help because they feel like they're being told what to do. How do you address that? And how can you help them avoid frustration and anxiety and getting upset with not being able to do it for themselves? I only want to try to help it and make it easier for her, but she feels like I'm trying to tell her what to do. So how do you address that?
Yeah. So I think that's the shower example is a really great one for that. Again, the key is those connection phrases really come in clutch for this, definitely. I'm sure you guys know, our patron saint of dementia, Teepa Snow. She does the whole hand over hand thing. I love her. But I mean, sometimes the way she explains stuff is a little complicated. So honestly, what I would do is first model what it is that you're trying, saying like, hey, could you help me with this? I've been having trouble. Like, let's just say hypothetically his fly's down or something like that. I've been having trouble with my fly. I came up with a trick to keep it up. I think I already did it on my pants. Can I practice on yours real quick? Like, I don't know. Sometimes you got to get creative with that. But again, it's very much about, like, how can I make him feel needed and useful? How can I make him feel like how can I model this for, like, help him succeed with this without him knowing that that's what I'm doing?
Right.
Because I mean, it's hard. Our folks are fighting for their old lives. Like, they're fighting for their old selves. It's like they don't want to admit that. I mean, I think about it this way, where if your abilities to do much of anything just poofed out of nowhere, but you still had all the same emotions inside, all the same needs, and you had no way of telling people that you can't do this for yourself anymore, like, that would be torture. So it very much is, how can I creatively do this for him without him 100% realizing that's what I'm doing? It seems like the kiss of death, and it will be super obvious stuff too. Like, I've had clients who have spilled crap all over their shirt. I'll say, hey, your shirt's dirty. And they'll be like, no, it's not. But what does work better is when I say, hey, Barbara, I found this gorgeous shirt. Would you try this on for me? And she's just like, yeah. There you go. She changed her shirt. She doesn't know. And like, she'll come out and like, model it for me. Work it, Barbara. She's out there just like, I'm like, oh my God, stunning. I want to be you when I grow up.
I'm going to have to get her a new pair of pajamas. I think I found
Yeah. I mean, it's so much easier that way, because like it's hard. It's hard. I mean, like I said, for one, our folks are not always aware. And two, if they are, they don't want to admit it.
Right.
They don't want to show, they keep a poker face. So hopefully that helps. That gives you some more ideas on how to help him.
Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure. All right, let's see. I see, oh, here we go. Let me try to go to the chat real quick. Actually, Jamie, what question is farther back in the chat?
Yeah, I'll cycle in a couple of questions as well. Also, we did have one person bring up that Bill or Dr. Kepler mentioned that he was actually trying to make a purchase and it was just going in circles on him. So I'm playing with the server issues. It does seem to be working on my end. And I know if you don't put in all the info, sometimes that will stop it. So still looking into it. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. So a couple, I'm going to go from the oldest questions first, just cycle in a couple and we'll get back to if you're raising your hand, you should have some priority there. Darlene asked it way back in 5 minutes in, not that all the questions are that old, but she was saying that her loved one is trying to pick flowers off the TV tray that she eats off of. So she's, I guess, eating flowers, it sounds like. Well, it
Sounds
says
like a cat.
well, she says it's actually printed on the tray, so she's just trying to get at them, I guess. Is that delusional? And does she have hallucinations? Or I guess she does have a hallucination. So she's asking, I guess, for the distinction between delusions and hallucinations there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So hallucination is you seeing or hearing things that aren't real. It could technically be all the senses, but most of the time it's them seeing things that aren't there. I'd say that's the most common. And second most common is them hearing things that aren't there. And like I said, it's as real as you and me here. I saw this a lot at the psych hospital, like a lot. And delusions are false beliefs. So what delusions, I'd say the origin of a delusion is our folks, they're dealing with much more than memory loss. They are also contending with lack of orientation or not knowing where they are in time and space, like them believing that they're children again, or something along those lines, or maybe that they're in their early adulthood. So, and even beyond that too, it's like when you mix in like them watching like stuff in movies, or maybe them actually genuinely seeing you put down car keys like 2 days ago, all that mixed up together, blended together, is what gives them a unshakable false belief. So it's what there is to understand is you will not logic, evidence, and reason your way out of it, because to them it is absolutely real. It is their reality. So kind of like when I was doing the example earlier with the accusation, that's an example of a delusion. So usually that's how it will come up as an accusation. So yeah, that's a great question. All right, let's see. I'll do Philippa next. I'll ask you to unmute, Philippa.
Hi.
Hi.
I actually like wrote it down first, but then I realized that I was supposed to raise my hand. So my question is, how do you, not unless I missed it, how does one handle when their dementia person is always like talking negative about them to them or to someone else, and realizing that it's the state, I guess, that they're in, but I just have an issue with just constantly all the time, and it's just me.
So anytime I've nicknamed it the target. So usually whoever your loved one or your client is around most often is going to, like, that person's going to be the target of their frustration, of any of that stuff. So this is the same thing that I would say, like for something like sexually inappropriate behaviors, for example, is that it is okay to have boundaries as a caregiver. It is okay. You got to manage your expectations though. You can't, you're more than likely, I mean, maybe in the early stages, maybe, but definitely in the middle and late, you're for sure not going to convince them to empathize with you or to be able to do that, because their brain is dying. So I think what's there is if she's talking really nasty to you, and I have had some things happen. I've had many a people talk, just go, man, this one lady in particular. So I was doing a group, and for 45 minutes straight, she was screaming how much I suck, how much she hated me, like what a bitch I was, like expletive, like it was wild. Like after I think I managed barely to hold my composure until I left the room, and I just started sobbing. So I think what's there is, if she's talking really ugly to you, you can say, you know, hey, I need to go in the other room. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay. Or something along the lines of, look, if you don't lower your voice, I'll have to leave. You want to keep it simple, short, with the calm but somewhat firm voice. If like, especially if you're in public and she's like screaming expletives or something, that's definitely something you want to do. I'd say the telling them like, I'm not going to talk to you if you're doing X, works about like 50% of the time. I'd say the other half the time they'll just keep going. And the only thing you really have the power to do is then just remove yourself, or if it's unsafe, to leave them by themselves, which I've definitely been in that situation before, where I'm the only one in the room with like 30 people with dementia. That's a party. That's a party. It's not always possible to do that. That was the case with the lady who was screaming that horrible stuff for 45 minutes, as I was by myself and I couldn't leave. So what I would have told myself then is, I would just stop engaging with her. And when you stop fueling that fire, eventually that steam runs out. So eventually they calm, and you just even give it a little bit more time, and chances are they'll probably forget. So yeah, I guess to recap, it's okay to have boundaries. Tell them simple, calm, to the point. If it doesn't work, leave the room, come back.
Because I don't know if this is maybe something that I actually would speak on to someone, like maybe psychologist or psychiatrist, where I'm not quite sure where the thin line is that I'm not quite sure if it's all dementia or if it's part of, that's really who she kind of was growing up with me. So it's affecting me because it's real. Because it's my real when I was younger.
Yeah.
But during, you know, my adulthood, we became closer, but it's like bringing it back, and it's just like everything is negative about, like, oh, you look like you're gaining weight, you know, just those little things. What's wrong with your hair today? Like, it's just that all the time, and it's all the time, and it's just I get very emotional.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is there's not really a one size fits all to what, everybody's very different in what they can handle. A great example I love to share is, there's this girl named Patty who honestly is very young when both of her parents got diagnosed with dementia, like at the same time, which is wild. Like, that blows my mind. Girlfriend is super strong. So what she ended up doing is she ended up placing her dad in long-term care, and she ended up taking care of her mom at home. And I asked her, I'm like, what brought you to that decision? And she said that, you know, if it's a care partnership, if it's not working for both of you, then it's working for neither of you. You know, the thing is the relationship I have with my mom, and really how the dementia is affecting her, is something that I truly believe in my heart. I can personally give her the best care. But with my dad, it's really not that way. Like, he ends up just antagonizing me. And honestly, he is going to get a better quality of care with someone else that isn't going to get constantly triggered. So really, I know this really sucks to say, but you're really the only one that can decide what it is that you can handle and what you can't. And it doesn't make you a bad caregiver. It doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that, hey, if someone else can do a better quality of care, then great. I'd also highly suggest, if you do go that route, to very much pay attention to patient staff ratios, and also pay attention to how attentive the staff members are. And you'll see that if you visit places where you'll notice that staff members are stopping and talking with folks. They're saying hi, they're doing activities with them. Like you'll be able to see it. Like, do they do that, or do they just, breeze on by, or do they just hide behind the nurse's station?
Right.
So that's good ways that you can vet it out a little bit. It's really tough though. It's really tough. Like CNAs, nurses, they all get paid terribly. I was very fortunate in that I worked for a psych hospital that really believed in holistic, like a holistic approach, which is why there was an entire therapy department. It was like half their business model. So they took it very seriously. So, we just got super lucky there. Yeah. So hopefully.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm almost similar to your friend, but it's my dad's physical. So he's in long-term, and it happened at the exact same time. And then she has dementia. So I have to go back and forth between both of them twice a day. But that's the only thing, is that right now is just very difficult with dealing with her on that. But I appreciate your suggestions, and I feel that that's what I have done, is just kind of stepped away. But you go through that guilt, but if that's what's going to keep me, and I think that that's what I've learned from all this, is just keeping, we all have to if we're the caretaker, we have to take care of ourselves to be able to take care of them. So I feel that I didn't know if I was doing the right thing, but I feel that I have been doing the right thing by just kind of stepping away from a second, or going to another room and then coming back.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like I said, it doesn't make you a bad caregiver. It is, you honestly won't survive if you continue to allow yourself to just take it and take it and take it and take it and take it. Like you will burn out, and it will be ugly. So it's better to very much be, like I said, protect your emotional energy. It's so precious.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to mix in one from chat, and then we'll get to Dr. Kepler. By the way, Dr. Kepler, there's someone else in chat named Bill that messaged me earlier. I think I might have confused you guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, to mix in one from chat earlier, Andy had asked near the beginning that he has his loved one or patient is normally fine, but then every once in a while goes into a total manic phase. It's like nonstop for 24 hours. And demands it, calls the ambulance, and she's very sick. So just wondering if there's any advice you might have for that situation.
So so their loved one is very sick?
Yeah, I don't know if that's referring to dementia or what, but sounds like they just go manic out of nowhere. So maybe more of a kind of a bipolar sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we saw a lot of that in the psych hospital. Yeah, there's a lot of like original mental illness and then dementia mixing together, like a very fun way. Yeah. I think what's there is it really depends on, like, do you feel like they are a danger to themselves or others? If that's the case, then taking them to the ER, or if it's really dangerous, calling 911 and saying, hey, my person has dementia, they're a danger to themselves or others, I need assistance. And what will happen is when you take them to the ER to be evaluated, it basically forces the system to take them in. Because in my area, and it just really sucks, because I don't know, it seems like it's hard. So where I was working, we were the only Jerry psych hospital in like all of Southern California, where Jamie and I moved from. And like people from Northern Cal, like even people from Central California had to be like, go in the ambulance for hours to get to us. So it can be challenging to get like that level of specialized care. But if there is a Jerry Psych hospital near you, that could be super helpful. If you're dealing with mental illness, alternatively, if it's not like to crisis level, then trying to see if there's a psychiatrist that specializes in geriatrics. Again, like Dr. Turner, who spoke to our group, he was one of my colleagues and it's fabulous. Honestly, just an all around amazing person. But regardless, I think that would be a good place to start, is figuring out if medications are right for your person. Because if you're mixing like original mental illness and dementia together, it's like you're gonna need some extra help for sure. Yeah, so I'd say ER if it's a crisis, Jerry Psych if that's available, and or psychiatrist that specializes in geriatrics. All right. Let's see, I guess we'll go with Dr. Kepler next. All right, you can unmute yourself. There you go. I think I pressed unmute.
Okay, good afternoon.
Hi.
It is afternoon here, so.
Oh,
Very
where are you?
I'm on Maui, in Hawaii.
Oh, wonderful.
Very pleasant here. My wife, I'm 81. My wife is 75, and she has cognitive dysfunction, pretty severe, but she doesn't yet qualify as being, quote, dementia. And I just have to put up with that, and I can't answer all these questions. And she asks what the day is and whatever for, 10 times. But the biggest problem really is her anxiety, and that is huge. And particularly, she doesn't want to go places or get out and do things. She can get out and go to a social function and kind of fake being normal people, and she has fun when she gets there, but she has tremendous anxiety leaving and getting there. One of the biggest problems is going down the coast of Maui. We have a house down there, which is wonderful. Our whole family will gather there, and she won't go. So she'll stay home. So I'd really like to know how I can talk her into things.
Yeah, so I think maybe what's there is first, you want to ask very simple questions. Like I'd say the general, it very much depends. Is your wife in like earlier stages? Is she in middle stages? Like where is she at?
Earlier stages.
Okay.
No, she's in the kind of middle stages.
Okay. Yeah, so I would say you want to keep it simple, and that doesn't necessarily mean like dumb down. Obviously, it just means like if you can use less words or a simpler word, that's probably preferable. And I think from there, it's just asking questions of how do you feel when we're in the car? Is there something like, do you think something's going to happen when we're in the car? Something along those lines, maybe just to get a little bit more information. If that doesn't necessarily work, then I would think about like, what are things that motivate her? And I would also give like a time limit, because a lot of our folks, a lot of anxiety is really pent up. They lose their sense of time. So if you give them like, if you anchor them with a time, like saying, we're gonna be there so quick. It's gonna be like 10 minutes. It's gonna be like, boom, we're gonna be there. And you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna see the grandkids. It's gonna be amazing. Talking about it from a perspective of what motivates her. So everybody's different in what they care about and what motivates them. But yeah, definitely the gold standard would be figuring out like, is there a fear there? Does she have anxiety? Like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing? It could be a lot of stuff. It's just hard to know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
I want to ask one real quick because it's come up a few times in chat, and I think this is pretty quick question. A few people have asked, what is sundowning? So if you could just give a quick explanation on that.
Yeah. So sundowning, is not a diagnosis. It is a way that you describe symptoms that come with dementia. So agitation, yelling, pacing, wandering, rifling, like anything that we just talked about, increasing as the day goes on. So what I saw the most often was around, I'd say like right after lunch. So maybe 1 in the afternoon would be like prime time for sundowning. The best things that I did to prevent sundowning, which is really all you can do, because once sundowning is upon you, it's very much just waiting it out. So very much the name of the game of sundowning is prevention. Is I've noticed sundowning is a lot of anxious energy. It's a lot of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing energy. So if I give them something that doesn't take a ton of brain power, because their brain's getting a little tired, that's a task or a job or something like that, that uses their hands, it's a little bit more physical, that's ideal. So if I'm going to do an exercise group, that's what I'm doing. Or I'm like, hey, Barbara, I don't know why I'm always using Barbara tonight, but whatever. Could you help me water the plants? That type of stuff. And that really helps. Giving them and having a routine definitely helps with sundowning. I go way more into detail in the membership about how you can set up a routine, honestly, the easy way with stuff that you already have, so that you don't have to spend a ton of time planning it. It makes it very, very easy, especially with the connection phrases. It makes it super easy to make literally anything into an activity that can help them prevent sundowning. So hopefully that answers the question there. All right, go to Sally. All right, Sally, what is your question?
My question is, well, a little background. My husband was diagnosed about 2.5 years ago with Lewy body. When we were diagnosed, he was so happy he didn't have Alzheimer's and he didn't have Parkinson's. Well, he's got Lewy body, which is actually kind of worse. So he never really wanted to know about it. So he did fairly well for the last couple of years, and then he fell and broke his hip in December. And that kind of spiraled his Lewy body to a different, stage, I would say. And the same week he fell, I had a mild stroke, which I thought I had COVID, but it turns out I had a stroke.
Wow.
The only thing, I was very lucky. It was very mild, and I only affected my right hand, which has come back.
Oh, good.
But at the time, I had a lot of family coming up to help me and help, sort everything out. And because he was in the hospital for almost 6 weeks, he had to go to rehab hospital, then he got COVID, blah, blah, blah. So I decided that I was going to find a care home. And I found one very close to my house that was highly recommended. I had a friend whose mother was there for a couple of years. So I was pretty confident that it was going to be great. And it is wonderful. The caregivers are great. I'm a big advocate. I go there every single day. He actually has COVID again, so I can't for a few days. But he's always, and he's very sweet. He doesn't have hallucinations. He doesn't have some of the typical Lewy body things yet, but I know it's coming down the pike. But he's always saying, I don't understand why I can't go home. Look how good I'm walking. Look, I only use a cane. Well, then when you see him walking with the cane, you think, no, he's not doing that well with the cane. So he's always saying, if I tell him like, well, we're just going to work on it a few more days or whatever weeks, we want you to get stronger so you don't fall. But he does not understand why he has to stay there. So I'm constantly getting this, I want to go home. I hate it here. I hate the people. I hate the food. I hate everything. And he's only does that to me. He doesn't do that to anyone else. And so I'm always struggling with how to keep him, happy. He'll say, do you want a divorce? Do you want a divorce? It's not right that two people that love each other can't be together. And I said, well, I'm here every day. So if you have any suggestions or ideas to like have that conversation, I've told him things. He just recently, we discovered a small tumor at the base of the brain. So that's an added thing. There's no way I can care for him at home. So, but I feel horrible that I can't bring him home. And then I have my moments where I'm okay. He's in a safe place. It's good. It's all right. But it goes back and forth. And the going home thing just drives me nuts because it makes me feel horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd say this is super, super common for sure. And I think a lot of this is very much a symptom of low staffing and lack of training, to be honest with you. So I think maybe what's there, kind of like what I was talking about, how as much as a lot of folks think that memory care will be the end of caregiving journey, oh no, it isn't.
Oh no, it's not.
No,
And
it's definitely not.
But I will say the caregivers and the doctor there, all the nurses will say things to him like, well, we're working on, that's our goal. That's, you need more physical therapy. They are wonderful at supporting me. So I have no complaint about the caregivers.
Oh, great. Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, and the staff is amazing. And awesome. And even now he's got COVID again, and the place is sort of on a lockdown again. So I call them all the time, and I say, does he have water in his room? Does he have extra snacks? Does he have, all this kind of stuff? And they are so wonderful about checking on him and then calling me back. So I have no complaints about the care he's getting. I'm just, I don't want to hurt him.
Yeah, of course. So you're not going to be able to talk him into it with logic and reason. I think what's there is, like I said, it's even better that your staff is wonderful, because that's rare these days.
Yeah.
Like I know it's awful. I know this mostly because a lot of my patients would tell me, they'd be like, can we just stay here? And I'm like, oh my God, dude, what is it like over there? So I think what's there is, it sounds like he's struggling to maybe connect with other folks there. He's struggling to find his place there. So usually that's, if we don't feel like we have a community, or we belong, or that type of stuff where we're at, then of course we're going to want to go home to get those feelings back.
And he's very, very sweet to everyone. He says hello to everyone. He does participate in some of the stuff. I went away for a week and he was just fine.
Yeah.
But when I'm the one that gets I want to go home. Yeah.
I mean, it honestly could be a way that he's communicating to you that he misses you, or that his.
Well, that I know.
Yeah. Or that he likes being with you, and he wants to be with you. You know, it's you kind of wish he'd tell you in a less heartbreaking way than that. But I think maybe what's there is maybe talking with some of the staff members and saying like, hey, do you think you could, maybe have him like help out with activities, or do you think you could maybe give him a more active role in the community? I think he's really looking for purpose.
Okay. Yeah, because he's bored to death.
Yes.
And he always says, are we going to go out tomorrow? What are we going to do? And so that in itself is exhausting, to get him in the car with the walker and of course, then I take my dog everywhere. I take the dog with me every day to visit him, but he wants to go out. He just wants to get out of there. That's always been his pattern his whole life. He doesn't like to sit around and do nothing. So I find it really hard to be the entertainment committee.
Yeah. Well, the good news is it sounds like you have some really awesome allies and support in the staff, which is, like I said, incredible and super rare to find. So you're super lucky on that front. Or maybe I'm sure you researched the heck out of it and just found him a great spot. So Oh Lord. Yeah. So anyways, that would be my suggestion is lean into your care partners and see if they can give him more active roles, give him maybe a little bit more structured routine that might be helpful. Like he has, because our whole lives, like we get up, we go to work, we always are doing, going. So it's a tough transition to just like have that all be ripped away from you.
Yeah, they do have lots of activities. They do have, it's daily, all kinds of stuff. But he likes the entertainment, but he doesn't participate in like word games and stuff because he can't do it.
Yeah. So, and the thing is my own opinions on this are very much that I genuinely think that everybody is way too obsessed with the leisure activities. So
Yeah,
I feel like there's a multitude of things that we need to do as human beings in general
right,
to be
right.
happy, which is why I emphasize that you need to give them purpose
Mm-hmm.
piece. And that's why it almost always works with most people, because they're so starved of it. It just is
Yes.
horrible.
Yeah.
So I'd be less leaning into like, instead of telling them, hey, encourage him to go to more groups, because it's almost like you're trapped on a cruise ship. That's
Right.
probably what it
Yeah.
would feel like.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
trapped on a cruise ship,
Yeah.
which is, fine for a time, but it's kind of understandable why you'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, I've had enough of this. Like, I need to
Yeah.
go home to my real life.
Yeah.
It needs to feel more like real life. So it's very much like, give him a job he always does in the morning. Give him a job he
Okay.
always does in the afternoon. Make a big deal out of introducing him. So
I
that
like that.
yeah,
Okay.
like all that type of stuff. So it's just
Okay.
like, hopefully that'll help him take away the cruise ship type feeling
Yes.
and make it
Yeah.
more feel like, okay, well, this is my life.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
definitely a
Yeah.
distinction for sure.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Yeah,
Appreciate that. Thank
of
you,
course, my
Krista.
pleasure. Of
Thanks.
course.
Thanks.
All right. Do we have any other earlier questions, babe?
Yeah, we have a few from chat earlier, so I'll pop one in, then we'll jump to Lynn here. I know he's had his hand up for a while. But the next question, let's see. I think you actually answered one about how you talk to a deceased parent. That came up when everyone was in the breakout rooms. So Julie, I'm not sure if we got that answered for you. If you're still here, just let me know, Julie. The next one after that was from Gloria. She said, she's asking like, is this going to be any help if someone's already in a care facility? But I think we do have a lot of things we can say for distance caregivers and people whose loved one is in a facility. I think we kind of already just talked about a little bit of that right now. Is there anything else you want to say on that?
I mean, I think I basically covered it pretty much, which is like, as much as you wish your job would be over, it's not over. So I think you still need just as much support when you're a distance caregiver as you do a home caregiver. All right, I'll go to Lynn. All right, I'll ask you to unmute. Oh.
Hello, are we there?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Again.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, good evening. I'm a 24/7 for my wife for 3 years now under hospice care. Biggest problem I have is getting some verbal communication going. Can't put words together, kind of fakes her way out of things with just a yes, like she's understanding when it's really no. I mentioned hospice and a social worker. I'm not sure if a speech pathologist could be of any assistance there, what road I might go down to get that going, even with family and trying to get sentences out of them. It's just like an acceptance with the yes or a smile. And that's as far as I get. There's been no specific dementia diagnosis with anything prefrontal or anything that might affect the speech. I don't think falls have entered into anything. It's just the way it is. I don't know if it's a facet of the dementia and the Alzheimer's, or if what my next step would be. Flashcards, I don't know what, memory isn't there. So I don't know where I go down that road.
Yeah, so what we used to use a lot was something we called a communication board. Basically, it's a piece of paper that has a bunch of like symbols with like basic needs on it that she can point to communicate with you her basic needs. I think beyond that, maybe asking like yes or no questions.
Yeah.
I think definitely really helps there. I mean, it can't hurt to get a speech language pathologist and see what they can do. Also, I would definitely say music can be very helpful with this and the reason being is that music is something that's processed through our entire brain. Like one part of our brain processes rhythm, another the words, another the melody. So what ends up happening is our folks are able to sing when they can't talk for that reason, because there's maybe one part of the brain, maybe the rhythm part of the brain is still being preserved while the speech part is being attacked by Alzheimer, frontotemporal, whatever. So I'd say that could be something you could experiment with and see if she has any favorite songs, if she can sing it. It could be a little bit of a workaround. I don't know how far into, is she like early, middle, late? Like where is she at?
She's mid. She's
mid,
middle.
okay.
I
Okay.
noticed when the home care aide is with her, she'll go to YouTube and they'll play some funny baby videos or some old time songs. And sometimes she'll come up with a couple words in that. So the music, that blend, with the music and, maybe the board activity, might stir things on. It's something I can try.
Yeah, I mean, I would say obviously, it's a progressive disease, but at the same point in time, it doesn't hurt. Most insurances cover speech language pathologists, and what they also do too. We've actually had a speech language pathologist come and talk to us in the membership, but they also do swallow evals as well. So anything like speech, swallowing, food, they're very helpful with that. And honestly, they can come. A lot of them can come to your house or do like telehealth type stuff. So
Okay.
it's easier than trying to take them to the doctor. So it's worth a shot. So I would say definitely communication board, yes or no questions. Try music to see if she can sing and see if that can be like a workaround to get words out. Just experiment with it and see if it works.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. We'll give that a try.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's well-mannered and easy to get along with, so usually accepting of things to do. So I'll give that a go. Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure.
Have a good one.
You too. All right.
So I got a question for you that I know we get a lot. Delaney had asked earlier, is it okay to lie to my husband?
Yeah, so I think I might have answered this before.
Okay.
I would, yeah, I'd say it very much depends. If they are explicitly asking you for the truth, yes. If the possibility of it is in their mind, then yes. If it's not at all in their mind, then probably no. All right. So we'll do Wendy. I'll ask you to unmute. All right.
Hey.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi there. Question, and I
Yeah.
sent you something the other day. My dad has Alzheimer's and Lewy body. He asked repeatedly to call, to go see, to talk to his parents, both of which have been gone for more than 25 years.
Yeah.
My mother has dementia also.
Oh, so you're like
But
Patty.
but she knows her parents are dead, his parents are dead, and will readily just say, nope, they're dead. And then that leaves him oftentimes greatly stressed. And, oh, I feel so bad. And I say, so what I've learned works with him. I can say, your parents are just fine. I said, they're living, and I emphasize that word, they're living with Jesus. I have tried, I can't tell you how many times, to get my mom, and I've explained it to her. Don't say they're dead. Just say they're living with Jesus. But if he asks to call them or to go home, I can distract him and just say, oh, you want to go home? And then I say, but you know what? I don't think they're at home right now, so we probably can't get a hold of them. But maybe we could try tomorrow. Would that be okay? Yeah, that's great. Thank you. But mom says, honey, they're dead. I'm like, what? And I can't get her to stop, but I can't help it because it's her dementia. She doesn't remember short-term memory, but she's got that long-term memory right now. So I'm like, how is there any other way that I can get her to remember, but not have to speak it to him? She doesn't realize what it does to him.
Yeah, I mean, So I'd say chances are you're probably not, probably not going to stick with mom. I honestly think that's a decent answer, or I would say literally any explanation that would make sense as to why she is saying that they're dead. It's like, she meant the other people, or something like that. So, something along those lines. Whatever would make sense. Whatever would make sense in his reality, in order to diffuse it a little bit. Because that's tough. Because obviously you're not going to to make that stick.
But it's funny. We went to my dad's hometown. We drove around there. His parents' house is torn down and another house has been built there. And just to show where my mom is, we went there in September. And so just last week it came up, we need to go to Burns so I can see my parents. And she says, honey, we just went last week and they're dead. You're like,
it's
okay.
It's like you know what? I think it was like so and so's parents, right?
So like,
and then she I'm sure she'd probably be like, no, it's his. It's like, and then you could be like him. It's like she means the other, like that to them, just like something like that, where he's just like, yeah, like I'm in on this. I'm in on this.
It gets kind of comical because it's like, okay, all righty.
Yeah.
And my sister who was there last June, she came. And my mom said just the other day, she goes, when Pam was here, she was here, she left just a few days ago. A few days ago? I told my sister, I said, just so you know, you got credit for being here and you weren't. But she will not forget who's dead. She will not forget who's dead. Nope.
Oh man.
Your mom and dad are dead. Your brother's dead. Your sister's dead.
Everyone's dead.
Everybody's dead.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, sometimes humor can help, or just, I mean, it's our folks really love feeling like they're in on a secret. They're in on something that other people aren't in on. So that I think that would really help diffuse it. It's just like, no.
Well, we'll try. We keep trying. It's just,
that's all you can
I
do.
think eventually she might get to a point where she'll forget. But
yeah, she will. Yeah.
But not yet.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like I said, with any challenging behavior, eventually it passes and it gets replaced with something else that's fun.
Yes. My dad's in the later stages. Mom's still mid, and, but if you asked her anything, timetables, she's lost track of time, but she keeps track of who's dead.
There you go.
That's there.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss
you.
Wendy. All right. Let's see. Okay. So we still have some questions in chat. So what are those questions?
Sure. And just let me know if some of these have been answered, because I've been manning a lot of different things at once here, so I'm going to miss a thing or two. So next one I have is from Cindy, back at 6, had asked a question that her mother's just kind of starting down the road with mild cognitive impairment, and her mother, so her mom's mom, her grandmother, had dementia and Alzheimer's, and she's kind of familiar and recognizes some of the symptoms, and it goes on to show how it's starting to get really noticeable. So she's wondering how she would explain to her 6-year-old, kind of like what's happening.
So there's a lot of really great children's books that you can get from Amazon that might be a way that honestly someone else can do the explaining for you. It would be really nice, especially for little kids. I think that would probably be the best way to go about that. Beyond that, maybe just explaining, sometimes, their brain is sick. I mean, like I said, I would prefer the children's book, because you're already doing something fun.
Well, thanks, Darlene. Such a nice, so many nice comments. We really appreciate you guys. And there's something really rewarding about helping caregivers help dementia patients. I mean, you guys are some of the most caring people in the world, and what you do is a major service. So I just want to acknowledge everyone for that. So yeah, there's probably about 5 more, maybe 7 more questions still from the chat. So I'll just kind of keep going through these. If anyone wants to interrupt by raising your hand, we can always switch back and forth. Darlene had asked, well, actually, I think we had answered Darlene's question because I know she had spoken a little bit. It was regarding food and spitting up food. Did we get that to that one? You're muted.
Okay. Definitely get a speech language pathologist to do a swallow eval. That would be my biggest suggestion. Usually insurance or Medicare pays for it.
Yep. Yeah, I think we had someone on that was maybe Molly talked about that when we had our nutritionist on the Q&As. Next question is from Trisha. She's wondering, like, should I continue trying to get her to shower, or is wipes just fine moving forward?
That's a good question. I would say it really, really depends. I would say wipes are good for like pits and like private areas, but it's like eventually they're probably going to have to actually shower. So I would say that's where really that rapport building is huge, because also some things I would try, and these were suggestions we got from an occupational therapist that was in our expert Q&A. If a lot of times folks refuse to shower because they get cold really easily and their extremities get cold. So like if they're wearing like a sweater and blankets and they're still saying they're cold, that's probably what they mean, is their hands are cold, their feet are cold. So having maybe a heater by the bathroom door, making sure that it's really nice and warm, can be very helpful. Also making sure that the shower head, the water is, the shower head comes off and they can have a little bit of control over that. Making sure the water is nice and warm, but not too hot before they go in to use it. Also, again, whatever motivates your person. So I would say if your person really loves like the spa, for example, instead of saying you're calling it a shower, you're like, hey, why don't we just have a girls' afternoon and just pamper ourselves? So if assuming your person's a woman, if it's not a woman, then you could appeal very much to that person's desire to impress somebody. Like a good example is I had a client who was very sweet on a lady named Billy. So I would say, hey, you want to look good for Billy, right? We'll just get it done in like 5 minutes. We'll be done. You'll look great. She'll be very impressed. It's like, you speak to what's important to them. See, my mom wasn't turning on the hot. Yeah. So again, sort of like with the shower idea, it's very much, you probably got to get creative. That's where the connection phases come in.
Okay. So next question. Sonia had asked about constant smoking, and something about cigarette behaviors going on forever. Not Sonia, if you're still here, maybe you could clarify that a little bit. Have we gotten that question before? That might be one of the first times we've heard that one.
If they're smoking all the time. I mean, the thing is, you're probably not, like, unless probably the real thing you could actually do is just stop buying them cigarettes and just say, like, store was out every day. Store was out every day. It depends on how far they are in dementia. So if they're early stage, I would say, honestly, you might need to let that go for a bit. Sometimes you got to pick your battle, got to protect your emotional energy there. If they're mid-stage and they'll just forget, like their 10-second Tom. I don't know if you guys have seen 50 First Dates. I've definitely genuinely met people like that. Then you could just be like, the store was out. I'll head back there a little later, okay? And then just keep doing it. You could also say, I have these nicotine patches, like, in the meantime. So something along those lines. Again, it's very much like saying, like, you can't have this, we can't go, this is gross, you got to stop. Like anything like that is just like, you're asking for trouble. So again, very much depends. Like for earlier stages, it's one of those things where it's just like, they got dementia already. At some point you got to pick your battles.
Kim, I like your cat, by the way.
Very cute cat. I know. Our cat's name is Wolfgang, if anybody's curious. He is like the fluffiest, cutest cat ever. Almost as cute as yours.
So I'm missing a couple names. I'm not 100% sure who asked these next two. One was about their dad unplugging everything. Did we get to that one?
I don't think so. Yeah, I just definitely say child proofing.
He thinks the house will burn down from having the things plugged in.
Yeah, child proofing, making sure there isn't those things out there. Unfortunately, again, you're not going to be able to tell them. They won't retain the information.
So we had someone who actually, I asked them if they want to be anonymous, and they said no, but then I didn't get their name. So
that's okay.
So they're anonymous. They're actually not a caregiver. They have a history of TBIs, suffer from post-concussion syndrome, and they think they're genetically predisposed to dementia because one of their grandparents died of it.
Okay.
So they're just wondering if there's a way to be prepared with dementia should I later be diagnosed.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say definitely get an elder attorney, figure out who would be your POA, get all that stuff in order so that your loved ones don't have to do that for you. So that's a big one. I know Jamie's parents are in their mid 70s, something along those lines. So I know we've been trying to get them to an elder attorney. Mostly not because anything's horribly wrong with them. It's more just we want to be prepared. If anything crazy does happen, it's always good to be prepared with that type of stuff. So that'd be the first thing. I'd say the other things beyond that, the thing is just because your family member had it doesn't necessarily mean it's a genetic thing. Very, very, very few cases of dementia are genetic. Like a lot of it's very much just like environmental or luck of the draw. So they may not ever get dementia. It's hard to say. I think beyond that, I'd say maybe preparing financially as best you can, talking to maybe your loved ones on maybe who would be willing to do that, what everybody's roles is, maybe help predetermining all that type of stuff might be helpful. So hey, if you could do some legwork beforehand, I mean, that's great, but it's not necessarily a guarantee that it'll happen.
Okay. And just so anyone, not that this is really a concern out there, but if anyone was kind of like maybe wanting to be part of the website membership, but worried about their tech savviness, just so you know, I'm already helping out with some tech issues. So we are on it. If you don't have to worry too much about that. And T, if you're hearing me, I am sending you some messages that could use your response to. So next question I have here, and there's only a few left now. I think we did talk to Darlene again. She had a membership question about she can get both types. That one might have to be more addressed with her because it's not, you kind of have to choose, I think.
Yeah, well, VIP just gets you everything just automatically. So you get access to everything. All VIP is that you have added on coaching to everything else. That's basically the only difference.
I think it might have been the support versus skills styles and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, you have access to everything. So you have access to the workshop, you have access to the support groups. Really the main difference between the two is that one of them is very much like you are getting help with setting up maybe support, like how to talk to friends and family about helping more like it's just more community building type stuff. And it's definitely, you get like it's a little bit longer track for folks that are starting from the ground up. Skill building is very much like you start immediately on the behaviors for folks that want to start immediately on behaviors. So it very much depends your preference. So if you're in the skill building part, you can, if you want to be in small groups, like you can be in small groups, or if you are in community building, you can absolutely attend the workshops. Like we're not going to stop you.
Yeah, it's a good thing to clarify. And yeah, you pretty much get everything no matter what you choose.
Yeah.
If anything, if you really want to make sure you get everything, I would go with support, because
Mhm.
you get 2 modules in support that the skill builders just don't get. So we've got, it's 3 questions left here. So we're getting close to wrapping up unless anyone pops in some more questions. So someone was asking, and this might have come up again, they were asking about early onset Alzheimer's. So her patient loved one's body is mostly healthy, but she's continually overestimating her abilities, and she feels like she's putting herself at risk. So the issue is that she refuses assistance with anything because she feels like she can do it. How do you address that?
I'd say it's very much, again, how can you make it not about what they can't do and make it about them helping you, them doing something with you, them spending time with you that ultimately gets what you need done. That would be the easiest answer for that.
Okay. There was someone who was asking about, there's like a phrase for when there's like time changes, like time dysphoria or something like that. Maybe that's the phrase, I don't know.
Time dysphoria. That's a new one. I haven't heard of that one, but that's good. I mean, I just give them like 5-10 minutes. That's usually what I'll say.
Yeah. So last question. Actually, it's funny. Rachel just said I have a 2-part question, and she's the last question on my list here. So she's asking how to lead a purposeful activity for multiple people all at the same time. So I think that's a good one for you, being that you more or less did that for your career.
Yeah. So I love Montessori for dementia. Like, it is awesome. Like, truly, it's incredible. So I would say, if you want information on that, Rachel, on how to create more purposeful activities, definitely look at Montessori for dementia. That you'll be able to find really awesome tools that look more like actual tools that are safe for them. They sell it on Etsy. Yeah, that would be my answer. Oh, I see a question with Jeff and Pam. All right. You can unmute. What's your question? Oh. All right, Jeff and Pam, you are up. You got to unmute though.
There we go.
All right.
I'm sorry. We're trying to join as members and I keep getting kicked out. Can you give me any suggestions what to do? Every time I try to go in, it just kicks me out again.
Yeah, Jamie can definitely help you with that. We're going to be sending out an email tonight, right after this is done. So I guess anybody that's left on here that's struggling to get into the membership, just shoot us an email if you need tech help, and we're happy to help.
How do I shoot you the email?
Well, we're going to send you an email.
Will that come before midnight to get the special rate? It's almost 10:30 now.
Well, since you're telling me about it, and you're having
yeah,
some issues,
we'll write it down.
We'll make sure to
Yeah, we'll make
honor
sure.
that. Can you? I'm gonna send you a message on like a private Zoom message. So if you respond to that, it'll go just to me. If you could just send me your email and phone number, we'll follow up with you.
How do I do that? I'm not tech privy. I'm not good at this at all. I was lucky to get on the Zoom call in the first place.
No worries.
Yeah, here I'll I don't mind telling you my phone number if you want to just give me a call when we get off here.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me grab my pen. That's so nice of you to help. I was like panicking. It's like, I want to be a member and I can't get through.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
Hold
and
on.
that's the thing, we're doing a member, an online experience for, mostly people who aren't as tech savvy because, our demographic is a bit on the older side. So that's why we always, we call every single member that signs up. We work with everyone.
We make sure that you feel very comfortable with,
Okay,
with
great.
what you're using it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
phone number. I have a pen.
All right. It is 310
310
984
984
0368.
0368. When would you like me to call you?
You can call me right after this or any normal time tomorrow would be absolutely
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I don't know how long this more is going to last. Trying to stay awake. So, okay. Thank you. I'll call you. Pam
right.
Reynolds.
All right.
Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Pam.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see. I see one more question in the chat. So let's see. Oh, second part to her question. She said, we have 1 or 2 residents that tend to team up against the other residents in activity groups, but they refuse to leave the activity. What do you suggest? Yeah, so I've had something very similar happen. So what it is very much, you have to set a very firm boundary there. Because you're the leader of the group. So it's very much saying, and also if maybe before your groups, if you have like maybe a CNA or someone on staff that can back you up and help, I think that's even better. So maybe saying something along the lines of, if you don't, stop yelling or saying that thing, you will have to leave group. Do you want to stay in group? And if they're just like, yes, it's like, okay, if you do this one more time, so-and-so is going to have to escort you out. Okay. Like it's very much like, and I'll also add as well, it's like, you won't be able to stay in this group. You can come back to the next group, but you can't stay in this group if you're going to do that. It's against group rules. I mean, it's one of those things where when you're managing multiple people, it's just, if there's folks that are causing your group to fall apart, then it just isn't going to work. Yeah.
So I put one more question in chat. Vicky had sent me. She said, we were told not to buy into my mom's delusions. How can we all do that and still make her feel like we're listening to her when she has to go home?
Yeah.
Vicky's also telling me that she just lost audio.
Oh no. Oh no.
Problem is you can't respond. I can't just talk to her and tell her. Let's see. I'll send her a message if you want to hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. I'll answer the next one real quick. Cindy says, any vitamins or herbs that may help for early stages of dementia? I mean, honestly, there's not like any magical thing. I would say, whole foods diet, as much natural food as possible. I would say is, it's anything that tells you there's going to be a cure, a magical herb cure is fake. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. Yeah, thanks for coming, Rachel. Okay, so I think I'll do Marlene next. All right, Marlene, go ahead.
My question is, my mom lives in a different state and she's in the early stages. Still living alone, refuses to live with any of us children, but it seems like every other week she's telling me she got some money and she's put it somewhere and she can't remember where she put it.
Wow.
And most of the time it's money. Sometimes it's keys to who knows what. She doesn't drive anymore, so it's keys to her storage unit, keys to her safe. But the money is what concerns me. What's the best way to handle that? I mean, I've tried to logically give her some pointers, but that doesn't help.
Of course. Yeah. So she's looking for money and car keys?
Yeah, mostly she's looking for her money.
So is she like I would say how far into dementia is she? Is she like more middle? Is she more late? Is she early? Like where is she at?
She's early. She's early.
Okay, so probably the fake money thing wouldn't work.
No, that wouldn't
no,
work.
it wouldn't work.
And this is money she's gotten when when she takes a handicap bus to go to the grocery store or something. So she's gotten this money out of her with her debit card. But
Okay.
then 2 days later she can't find it.
So I think maybe what can be done there is definitely does she lose her wallet or the actual bills?
It's the actual bills because she's brought them home and she's tucked them in this drawer or put them in this place, or I mean, she finds them, but her anxiety levels over it just go through the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh man, I know it's just tougher since it's money, and obviously telling her to always keep it in her wallet, she'll forget that. I wonder if it's possible just to only have her out with like maybe a credit card so she can't withdraw money, but she can still purchase things.
I've been trying that because she carries around about she's misplaced. She's lost her purse once, misplaced her purse a couple other times. And she carries around about 6, 7 credit cards, and I keep trying to tell her 2 credit cards, Mom. Your American Express and a backup for American Express. So
it depends on how comfortable. Sorry, go ahead.
And try to put everything on the credit card. You don't need cash. No one deals in cash these days.
Yeah, so it depends on your comfort level with this idea. But if you're okay, if you feel comfortable with this, honestly, again, telling her that she should do that, like people don't like unsolicited advice just like in general, and people with dementia really don't like unsolicited advice. So usually what I'll do is I'll just like, it sounds horrible, but I'll just create a situation in which it's like, Mom, I don't know what happened. I think someone stole a bunch of credit cards out. They managed not to get 2 of them though. We'll have to I'll make sure to call the bank. Like, I don't know, something along those lines, so that there's a reasonable explanation as to why she doesn't have like 6 of them going on. Like, does she notice when cards are missing, or do you think you could just like take some cards out and she wouldn't notice?
Well, slowly but surely, every time I visit her, I try to close out another account on her. And when that hasn't worked, because, like I said, she has lost her purse, I've lowered the limits down to, next to nothing. But yeah, the thing is, she, on a good day, she's likely to remember, did you ever get my such and such a card turned back on? Or something like that.
Like, not yet, well, soon. Then just never do.
just keep postponing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's an idea, but that's if I can get her to use credit cards. Right now, she's still in the cash world.
Yeah. Well, we got to cancel those debit cards.
Yes, I want to do that. She's in Florida though, and I've already tried to do that, and the bank won't let me do it. So.
Okay. Well, maybe what's there is you got to maybe figure out maybe how to get POA, or figure out how
I've got POA. The banks won't let me. They tell me in Florida the only thing they can do is close the account out.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And take her name off. Yeah, Florida protects seniors to the nth degree, beyond reasonable.
Well, I think maybe what you could do is maybe close out the account and maybe start a new one where you guys are both on the account.
I'm on her account already.
Oh, you're on her account already? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. God, that's annoying. Yeah, I guess it's different in every state, but yeah, I would definitely try I'll just continuously put it off, just like we're getting that done. We'll get it done soon.
Okay.
And just don't.
Yeah, I use that routine quite a bit.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had a better answer, but again, like I've told so many other people, if there's something like that, eventually it will pass.
Yes. The writing checks is passed because she can no longer write checks. So
No, there you go. That's great.
I would wish she'd forget that debit card passcode.
Yeah, I hear you. Alrighty.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Of
This
course.
has been this has been absolutely fantastic.
Great. Awesome.
Awesome. Great. So we weren't able to get Vicky's audio back, but I was suggesting she could always listen to your answer in the recording tomorrow
Okay.
when we get the replay up.
Okay.
So that question, just again, was Vicky said we were told not to buy into my mom's delusions. So how can we do that but still make it feel like we're listening to her when she has to go home?
Yeah. So I don't know necessarily what you mean by buy into. The thing is it is their reality. Again, you don't necessarily have to, like, for example, if they're saying that you stole their keys, you don't necessarily have to admit that you stole the keys. You could be like, oh my God, the keys are missing. Something along those lines. And I mean, the thing is at the end of the day, you got to let go of that. You got to let go of the whole, like, like if you don't tell them the truth, and it's just like, they can't, it almost makes you think of the movie, They Can't Handle the Truth. It's very true. They have their own reality because their brain is dying. They can't take in new reality anymore. It's not fair to put them to that standard. Yeah. So that would be my answer.
Okay, great. I think we're about out of questions. I put the link in the chat one more time, and we'll be emailing out that stuff too. So if you want any of the cheat sheets, so there's that cheat sheet we covered earlier, but there's actually a whole bunch of bonuses on there that I don't even know if we mentioned. There's 2 activities cheat sheets, a checklist for stopping triggers. This is all the free stuff that you just get for coming to this workshop. So it's all at that link, and we'll be emailing that out. So yeah, definitely check it out. And yeah, thanks to everyone for coming.
All right. Well, everybody, I think we are closed out. Again, make sure to sign up for the membership tonight to get that discount, 20% off of the regular price. Anything else you want to say, Jamie?
Oh, I don't think so. Thanks to
All
everyone
right.
for coming and for everything you guys do.
Yeah. Everybody, you have a great rest of your night. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming.